provides reporter Gwen Baumgartner.
There's a sense of urgency in Santa Barbara as Stephen Ganter works to shore up his home.
I just want to be prepared in case we get a dump and make sure that the rain doesn't enter the garage.
Statewide, there's potential for catastrophic flooding. In the north, scenes of dangerous Sacramento roads. Mudslides are an added concern, exacerbated by burn scars from this year's wildfires.
The FAA will lower flight reductions at 40 airports from 6% to 3% effective tomorrow morning. And CBS's Chris Van Cleve says there was good news today for the folks who work in airport towers.
The nation's air traffic controllers have begun receiving back pay from the government shutdown. Controllers worked without pay for more than a month, missing 2 full paychecks and a portion of a third. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy promised the controllers a lump sum payment within 48 hours of the government reopening. The FAA says that payment started hitting controllers' accounts this morning.
President Trump continues his campaign to get Republicans to back off their demands to see the Epstein files with little success. CBS's Nancy Cordes at the White House.
On social media today, he said any Republicans who go along with the release of the Epstein files are weak, they're stupid, and then he issued this bombshell, the fact that he wants Democrats with links to Epstein to be investigated, and in short order, his attorney general said, "Thank you very much, Mr. President. We will do so."
Immigration agents will reportedly conduct operations soon in 2 more big cities. Here's CBS's Camilo Montoya Galvez.
U.S. officials tell CBS News that some of the Border Patrol agents recently deployed to the Chicago area, including Commander Gregory Vivino, are expected to be in Charlotte and New Orleans.
Agents could be in Charlotte as soon as early next week. In response to consumer complaints about price increases at the grocery store, President Trump today signed an executive order dropping tariffs on beef, coffee, and tropical fruits. Laney College athletic director and mentor to many, John Beam, has died one day after being shot at the school's campus in Oakland, California. Police have made an arrest. Among those Beam mentored was Piedmont, California Police Chief Frederick Chavis.
John was so much more than a coach. He was a father figure to thousands of not only men, but young women in our community.
Beam gained national recognition when he appeared in a Netflix docuseries in 2020. On Wall Street at the close of the trading week, the Dow was down more than 0.5%. S&P 500 down fractionally. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, a suspect in a deadly fight at the White River Amphitheater caught in Alabama. That's after Nate Connors at the Real Time Traffic Desk.
All right, Aaron, it is really busy out there. Let's start you with our update in JBLM. North 5, our ongoing collision just past the main gate blocks your right lane. You've got a 5-mile bumper-to-bumper backup almost starting and back in Nisqually. Olympia to Tacoma has jumped to an hour and 10 minutes. That's a 35-minute delay. Coming the other way, Tacoma to Olympia, you're at 50 minutes. Through Des Moines, South 5, just past State Route 516. A crash in your HOV lane has you backed up to the Boeing Access Road. Seattle to Federal Way, an hour and 10 minutes. Same story here, a 35-minute delay. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway will take you 50 minutes. We're pretty solid now from Renton all the way into Puyallup. It gets really thick once you hit State Route 18. Linwood to Seattle, 40 minutes. You're heavy from Northgate to I-90. North 5 at Seneca on the collector distributor lanes. A stall blocks your right lane. The main line, North 5, is packed from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. And northbound I-5, the exit to Lake City Way, once you get just outside that Roosevelt Tunnel, we've got a collision blocking your right lane. That leaves one lane open. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granello. The suspect in a deadly attack at the White River Amphitheater in Auburn has now been arrested in Alabama. Prosecutors say 31-year-old Devin McCurdy is charged with second-degree murder in the death of Brandon Godsey. Casey McNerthany with the King County Prosecutor's Office says those two started exchanging insults after a concert back in August.
And it led to a punch, and the victim fell backward and hit his head directly on the concrete pavement and clearly lost consciousness. It was really a terrible assault, and it killed him.
McCurdy fled Washington, prosecutors say, and was tracked to his girlfriend's parents' home in Alabama. His bail is now set at $2 million. A construction team in Lakewood today rescued one of their crew members from a sewage pipe. Emily Tenser with West Pierce Fire and Rescue says the man was about 15 feet underground and deep into a pipe when he suffered a medical emergency.
They used a rope to drag him that 290 feet out of the pipe and then use their own crane to lift him up.
First responders say the man was in critical condition as he was rushed to a hospital. A tugboat that started sinking near the Kingston Marina last week has some community members concerned about potential environmental damage. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports.
The 64-foot tugboat known as the Mollusk lost power and started sinking. The Coast Guard was able to tow it to Apple Tree Cove, where it remains anchored, not far from the Sheepish Pig Farm, owned by Tanya Issa.
I can tell you just day by day, we can see that the water level is rising and it's listing.
She's concerned it's going to sink, polluting the water a nearby beach. But Jasmine Adams with the State Department of Ecology says the vessel is secured.
It does not look like it's in danger of tipping over or anything like that.
The Coast Guard is now working on a plan to get the boat removed. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
It's one of the premier NFL matchups this Sunday, Seahawks at Rams. The last time Hawks QB Sam Darnold played the Rams, they knocked him and the Vikings out of the playoffs. So is this game personal?
No, I think for us it's just about going down there. For myself personally, it's about going down there and taking care of business. It's as simple as that.
First place in the NFC West is up for grabs. Hawks and Rams kick off at 1:05 right here on KIRO News Radio. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain off and on today, and then more off and on showers for the weekend. Right now, 49 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line.
Okay.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Why you enjoy the show. Why you enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Wayne. I am in sales. I was almost sure I was going to be in the FBI. Because of a couple of things in high school that became no longer a possibility for me. My mother was a big smoker, and frankly, the smell makes me think of her. So honestly, I prefer smokers. My biggest hobby is actually writing. Most of those stories are about sort of strong, muscular men attacking beasts and saving women. And so that's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to write on my own. It's just something that's, I guess it's pretty silly sounding.
What about the show?
I have to be honest, I'm alone with my thoughts and saying things like stand up straight. So where those thoughts come from is definitely a good question. But I think mostly it comes from my father, who I don't really know very well.
Okay.
Salute and carry on.
Wow. All right, there we go. Again, I think you maliciously and with intent edit out all the stuff that they like about the show. And we hear about them enjoying the smell of smoke.
Writing
about muscular men saving women or fighting animals.
That's right. This is the best that we're getting here.
All right. Before I dive in and start the news, let me just say that I will not be held responsible for what happens in City, Seattle. Ursula Reutin. Who else is saying this?
Oh, everybody. They're calling you on the text line the godfather of socialism in Seattle.
Is Ursula still out there? She's still out there?
Yeah.
Hold on.
You want to grab her?
Yeah, go get her, because I can't live with this. Hang on. Ursula, please. Please.
Come on.
For the love of God.
She's coming.
I didn't realize that this is like a thing that's been, kind of smoking around the newsroom. Oh, here she comes from the G and Ursula show. She's back right there. 9 to noon, one more time, because what the hell? It's 3:09. What are you still doing here?
I am on a Friday afternoon, no less.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay.
We are doing a special thing on our show. Mm-hmm. We're giving away these
little baskets.
Joy baskets. Yes. And so we picked the ones who are going to receive them, and I'm just sending them little notes this afternoon to let them know.
Love it. How do they? And you nominate somebody for this?
Yes. So you do. Yes. Our listeners nominated, and unfortunately, this is one of those self-funded things.
Yes.
So I had a limited number of baskets. Yes. Yes. So we accommodated everybody, but I didn't hit it real hard. And we're going to share some of their very touching stories.
Can I make a donation to it?
No. You know what? I'm going to hit you up next time. And we've got, that we have foster care magic, holiday magic coming up on December 10th.
Treehouse,
yeah, exactly, to benefit Treehouse. So Anyway,
Okay.
so that's why I'm still here.
Okay, but you're also I've dragged you in here because so what's the kind of rumor floating around?
Yeah, the rumor is that you might have been the 2,000 votes that Katie Wilson needed to beat Mayor Harrell.
So I will be the one responsible for.
Yes, exactly. Because I think you were an early supporter of her campaign, and then you kept bringing her on the show, right? Hello, am I wrong?
No.
How many times did you have her on the show?
I lost count.
Yes, exactly. So, and I want to point out that you don't have a vested interest in this since you don't live in Seattle. So I won't name other names, but there are other people who live in Seattle who are like, thanks, John.
Okay. I could probably
I
guess
won't
who
name-
they are.
No, I'm not going to
I
name
see
other
you
names.
pointing in the general direction. Okay, so
Am I wrong though? Did you have her on more than
we are
Mayor Harrell?
on.
Well, we had both of them on as many times as they were willing to come on.
Ah,
Bruce
okay.
came on
Just the one time.
Yes.
once. Okay. And then Katie came on twice. Twice? Once.
Well, 3 times technically. I think
Ooh,
she called in after she'd won.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay.
And you said, hey, I remember the first time you had her on, I remember you saying something to the effect of, it would be really great. Then we could see what happens when a socialist is in office.
Right.
Yeah. So I
do
think
you understand
you're
my
gonna
thinking?
find out.
Yes, we will.
We will.
We
not
will.
You.
Well, I will too, because, you
You have to drop in here every once in a while.
I come here all the time. I'll have to pay the taxes. I'll have to, deal with the crime and all the other stuff. It's a thought experiment. I realize it's very selfish on my part.
Now that she's won, the
Yeah.
voters have spoken,
Yes, they have.
she has close to 2,000 more than Mayor Harrell.
Right.
I wish her nothing but success.
Yes. But
Because I
in
do
the
have a
meantime,
vested
you will
interest.
harbor a great amount of anxiety. And
I just want to point out that you seemed very favorable toward her.
I said because when Bruce came in and he kind of read me the riot act, that when the mayor came in, former mayor now, I said to him, Bruce, I endorse her if you would like to see socialism, tried. Because everybody always most socialists and communists, which are basically grown-up socialists, will say, well, it would have worked if only we had done it right. So I said, let's go ahead. You want to try it? Do it. And we'll see what happens. And then he said, well, yeah, but you endorsed her. I said, I endorsed her if you want to try socialism. I'll endorse you if you want to try something that is socialist light.
That's some serious semantics there.
No, it's the truth. All right, well, listen.
Anyway, so I'm going to hold you responsible should everything, the other
That's
thing
right,
is,
fine, I'll be the whipping boy.
The other
You can take
thing-
it.
I don't say this on the air. I just say it to you directly.
No. Go ahead. What?
Well, I was going to say that the other thing that I've already seen is the number of people, and a lot of them conservatives, saying, oh, this is what Seattle deserves. This is what Seattle wanted. And it's almost like cheering on this idea that Seattle's just going to fail. I hope she succeeds.
Yes.
I hope she's the best mayor ever.
Yeah, but you don't think she will be.
I worry.
But
Again, I have a very vested interest in this.
I understand. What are your worries?
That there are a lot of things that she is promising that I don't think we have a lot of details as to what she's going to do to achieve some of those things. I think she's already come across, given her appearance at the Starbucks rally, that she's squarely in the side of
with the workers,
which
Right.
is perfectly fine. But you don't want to also alienate the big business.
Right.
So we'll see how that works. You know that there are a lot of people who are already threatening to pull out of Seattle.
Sure.
But I think that she really did a good job hammering the point about the affordability crisis. And honestly, just joking aside, I don't think it was you. I think it was her messaging.
Okay. Good, because she did have me up on her website for, I think, about 5.5 seconds and then took it down. Once she realized why I was
I'll
endorsing
go back to
her.
I think you are.
It's like an
partly the
experiment.
blame.
I forget the guy's name that invented the X-ray, but he X-rayed himself over and over again to make sure it worked. But then he ended up getting, radiation cancer and dying. I'm like that doctor. I'm like the guy that I'm willing to sacrifice my own health.
You're sacrificing nothing. You want to see this experiment because it's going to just be adding to this
wouldn't it be
whole,
great? Wouldn't it be great?
How
Listen, let's say it
Seattle
works.
is dying.
No. Seattle cities don't die. Cities don't die. They limp along. They keep going. They evolve into another thing. But when we were asked in that promo we've all done, what's the worst thing that can happen? I said the worst thing that can happen is this will succeed. And then it'll spread throughout the rest of the country. That's the worst thing.
That's not the worst thing. That's the best thing.
Well, then if you would like to have socialism, then that would be the best thing for
But
people
I think
that
the
like
way
socialism.
you define socialism is also, I know that you're talking about what happened in New York and now what happened here, right?
Yeah.
So what part would you say, if it's successful, why would you be against that?
It's because it leads to eventually to the point of the government taking over means of production in order to be able to control profit, in order to be able to redistribute wealth. And it kills the incentive of the individual who always pursues their own self-interest. It destroys that. And that's the problem.
I'm curious, though. I wasn't planning to have this conversation with you because I was just doing my little gift baskets of joy.
Right,
but
which I agreed to donate to without the government telling me I had to.
I know. But here's my question. Do you think that there should be some kind of redistribution, or do you think that this wealth disparity that we're seeing in this country today is a good thing?
Wealth disparity comes from where, though? See, the problem is I wrote the monologue, but I'll just tell you what it is. 1 out of 10 people that go into an ER are misdiagnosed. 1 out of 10. The misdiagnosis of the Seattle voter, think of them like an ER doctor. They have misdiagnosed the problem. They see crime and poverty and homelessness, and they see it as a system problem, that it is a societal problem, when it is not. And here's why they've misdiagnosed it. The richer, more affluent, and more educated a city gets, the more likely it is that they will see the poor, the crime, the poverty, just the general blight of a city as a system problem. And they assume the behavior of the person that is stealing, shoplifting, laying in the street, doing drugs, they assume that person has the same qualities that they have. And that quality is called future orientation. You went to school, I'll use your kids, for example. You were on them all the time. Do your work, do your work, do your work if you want to get into a good school. You better do well. You better study for the SATs if you want to go to UCLA, right? And you were on those kids. That's a future-oriented individual. Poor people, and not by their own poor, those that are laying in the street are not future-oriented. They are because of addiction, mental illness, and a variety of other things. They're not future-oriented. They
didn't grow up. They weren't born to be addicted. But
no.
There is a cycle, and there are systemic problems that create a lot of this. And we don't address the systemic problems, and all we're seeing is the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, the cycle of homelessness, drug abuse, all of that continues, and it's not going to get better.
But the poor do not become poorer because someone has become richer. So the misdiagnosis is this. The smart, compassionate voter of Seattle looks at that person and assumes that person has the same qualities as they do, which is future-oriented. They're not. Because of whatever happened to them in their past, plus addiction, plus a mental illness and a variety of other things, that person is not future-oriented. That person has a very, very limited scope of what they want. They want just the next thing.
But John,
but here's where the problem is. When you diagnose the person thinking, well, that person's just like me, they're future-oriented, and then that's the diagnosis that you give them, and that's sort of the medicine that you give them, you never solve the problem.
But you can't expect someone to be future oriented if they can't even make enough ends to meet and have food on their plate, and not even bringing up what has just happened recently.
Right.
But how can you be future oriented when you don't even know if you're going to have enough money to put food on the table?
Right. That's behavioral.
No, there's and you bringing up my particular situation.
Yeah.
I come from a very privileged situation, and even my family struggled. And there were times when, guess what? I didn't know whether I would be able to go to college.
Right.
But it would be even worse if we didn't get help along the way.
Right. But what more importantly than the help along the way was what you inherited from your parents was a sense of work and value. They valued work, they knew hard work, and they themselves instilled that in you.
See, I think that's just too, I'm sorry, but I think that's too simplistic because there are a lot of people who just don't come into the world that way, and we need to do a better job of having safety nets and support along the way to get them out of that cycle.
The government cannot fix social problems.
The government can fix many social problems.
Prove it.
We cannot. Well, I mean, there's a lot of socialism that already goes on.
No,
Medicaid,
not socialism.
Medicare.
No. I'm not talking about socialism. I'm talking about social problems. Social problems. The government cannot fix the person, which is a character thing. It's a value thing. It's an individual problem. And the government can't come in and fix that.
I think in some cases, in many cases, the government can be that safety net that many people need.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. So
When
it's
you
not
fall-
going to be the government solving everything. But I'm sorry that I cannot see someone saying, I'm going to think about my future and I hope my son goes to UCLA because everything's just peachy keen right now. I had a lot of help.
Right. But here's the safety net I'll give you. I'm perfectly okay if somebody's down their luck, something horrible happens, the net catches them. Then they have, however they got it from their parents and generation, the ability to climb up and out of that net. Poverty does not equal crime. In the Asian community, where poverty, there in some parts of big cities, some Asian communities, and I'm using Vietnamese, Laos, Cambodian, all of it, right, everything. The amount of times that that person commits a crime, it's less than 1% to 3%, but yet they're poorer, if not poorer, than the rest of the population. So what happens is poverty does not equal crime. It is behavioral choices that equal the crime. And that's the behavioral choice is the thing that the government can't fix.
I just think, and I say this on our show all the time, you cannot have sweeping statements. I think that those are facts. No, I think there are many studies that will support the idea that where you have poverty, you will see increase in crime. And again, it's not to excuse it, but I mean, that is just a fact as well. So again, how about we address the issues surrounding poverty to help people make better choices so that they don't, and again, and this is different from drug addiction because that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
My own brother was drug addicted.
Yeah.
We were, quote unquote, a good family. He still died by suicide because we could not help them.
Right.
Now imagine someone having the same thing but not having the privileges that we had.
Yeah. I listen, it has not worked anywhere. We have spent trillions upon trillions of dollars in the war of poverty. Things only continue to get worse, and the government is the problem, not the solution. For the people of Seattle, they think government will fix these problems.
And I don't think government will fix all of it. And as you know, I did not vote for the person who is coming in as our mayor. Okay, so I don't know. How did I get dragged into this?
Because you wanted to work late. Because you're such a caring person. Because you're such a caring person.
Nice having a conversation with you.
Thank you for Ursula Royteen coming in here. How about that, huh?
Do that more often.
There we go. Back to Ursula. This is very late for her. Very late. And on a Friday. On a Friday. All right. Let's go to Nate over there checking traffic. Nathan.
Yipper, it is really busy out there. Let's start you with JBLM North. This long-term crash remains North 5 just past the main gate. Now taking up 2 right lanes. You're backed up 7 miles to the Nisqually River Bridge. Olympia to Tacoma has jumped to 1 hour and 20 minutes. Coming the other way, Tacoma to Olympia, you just hit 1 hour. Your biggest holdup is a 3-mile backup through JBLM. North 5 at 7:05 in Tacoma. A crash is on your left shoulder, causing a brief backup. Through Des Moines, South 5 just past State Route 516. Still have a collision blocking the HOV lane. You're backed up all the way to MLK Junior Way. Seattle to Federal Way, hour 15. That's a 40-minute delay. Bellevue to Renton's going to take you a half hour. North 405 is packed through the Renton S-curves. Linwood to Seattle still at 40 minutes. Your really heavy backup starts in Northgate. Everett to Marysville's at 25 minutes. It's packed from the Boeing Freeway to 529. Gets really thick after Highway 2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I've heard this story from a couple of friends of mine that are landlords. They say, oh my gosh, I've been a landlord for 20 years. I get a call at 1 o'clock in the morning. The water heater doesn't work. And they're like, oh my God, I got to get out. I want to sell, but they can't because they're stuck. The taxes have got them stuck. They say, well, just one more year. Then it becomes 10 years and they still can't get out. And the cash flow, they might be getting a 1 to 3% return on this thing, and they'd be better off in like a high yield savings account. So that's where Madrona Financial and the CPAs, they're hosting a free landlord retirement plan workshop. It's going to be happening on the 18th of November. Wow. All right. In Kirkland, the 19th in Tacoma. And then on the 20th, we're back in Kirkland again. It's all going to be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. See, Madrona does things differently. They're wealth advisors and CPAs, so they understand both investments and taxes. And in this workshop, you're going to learn the strategies of how to sell without triggering massive capital gains and how to avoid the depreciation recapture surprises and why DSTs are becoming so much more popular with retiring landlords. Now, seats are limited, so you want to get to this workshop, 833-673-7373. 833-673-7373 to reserve your seat. Find out more. 833-673-7373.
The 2025 American League MVP, Cal... Hold up, what? He didn't win? Aaron Judge? You've got to be kidding me. This is ridiculous. He's our MVP.
He was the heartbeat of the team all season long.
Congratulations on a historic season, Cal.
The modern-day Bambino.
From a grateful region and KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For seniors, the holidays can be fun family time, but can also be a stressful time if you're struggling with bills. Our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be the holiday gift you're looking for.
Many seniors love their home but are struggling with mortgage payments and other bills. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You can pay off your debts and maybe put some extra money in the bank for peace of mind. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me or a highly experienced senior advisor. Never a sales pitch and never, ever an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts, Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts, and debt consolidation specialists, too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
What's your holiday tradition?
It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is so delightful. Heat up the season and gift yourself year-round wellness from Olympic. A soak in a saltwater hot spring spa is pure bliss, the perfect escape at the end of the day. Or warm body and soul in a Tilo sauna, your ideal retreat. Heck, you deserve both. Our Heat Up the Season savings end November 23rd. Learn more at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. We are starting to get a better look into Seattle Mayor-elect Katie Wilson's agenda for the city. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more from her first post-election national interview.
Along with making housing and food more affordable, Wilson addressed criticism from conservative media about being a 43-year-old receiving a monthly check from mom and dad to pay for her own child care. She called it a political win because others can relate.
Our child care is off the charts expensive. And honestly, I think that a lot of people of my generation and younger and older found it very relatable.
Wilson says she'll reveal members of her new cabinet soon. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Local law enforcement is on the hunt for a convicted level 3 sex offender in King County. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
According to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound, 23-year-old Eli Volsey cut off and disabled his ankle monitor October 25th near the Burien Transit Center. Crime Stopper says getting Volsey back into custody is a top priority.
You got to consider this guy's going to be dangerous because he's given a break. He's out on an ankle monitor, cuts it off, and then disappears.
Volsey is 5'7", 128 pounds with tattoos on his right arm. Crime Stoppers is offering a $1,000 reward. You can see his photo on mynorthwest.com. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
With the government shutdown now over, we are starting to see some relief at the airports. The FAA says it is reducing the number of flights airlines will need to cut from 6% down to 3%. CBS's Chris Van Cleve has details.
That still means hundreds of flights on Saturday will be canceled as the nation's airspace works to get back to normal, as the system works to get back to normal and show that it is resilient and stable as far as staffing levels go.
Costco is being sued over its Kirkland Signature brand tequila. A class action lawsuit claims the retailer falsely advertised the booze as 100% agave. Plaintiffs say lab tests found other sugars that disqualifies the alcohol as tequila. Suit says shoppers paid premium prices under false pretenses. Costco has not commented. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:33 with Nate Connors.
This one's brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. North 5, it just past the JBLM main gate. Our long-term crash now blocks just the right lane. You're backed up into Lacey. Olympia to Tacoma now taking an hour, 25 minutes. That's a 45-minute delay. Des Moines, South 5 just past 516. A collision still blocks your HOV lane. You're backed up bumper to MLK Junior Way. Seattle to Federal Way has actually improved a few minutes. We're down to an hour and 5 minutes. Bellevue to Renton, plan on a half hour. You're slow from Bellevue all the way into Renton. North 405, you're packed through the Renton S-curves up to the VMAC. If you're heading into Seattle, Linwood to Seattle, right around 40 minutes. It is packed from Northgate all the way down to I-90. Seattle to Everett, a 45-minute commute, but Bellevue to Everett is 1 hour, and Everett to Marysville pushing a half hour now. It's heavy from the Boeing Freeway up to 529. Traffic is stressful, but buying your next car doesn't have to be. Subaru of Puyallup has a limited number of remaining 2025 models with exceptional savings. Start shopping now at SubaruofPuyallup.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy with rain at times tonight. Showers off and on through the weekend. Highs in the low to mid-50s. We're at 50 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
What's that? What? Home Comfort Alliance. What's wrong?
Every time I say that, Joe looks at me with indignation. Only when you say it all sad. Home Comfort.
Home Comfort Alliance, and when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. It's only one company to call that I can think of. Anybody else? Anyone? Anyone? No. HomeComfortAlliance.com. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Ursula, for swinging in here. And it was nice to be able to... Because Joe said, yeah, people hear you, but then they're always like, well, what about that? What about then? Ursula seems to be the what up. That's a lot of listeners are like, that's right, Ursula.
It's an intelligent conversation. Need more of that.
Yeah, Ursula brought that. All right, this day in history. Oh, by the way, it's the John Curley Show. I didn't even dive in.
Wow.
No wonder I'm not all itchy.
Should we do it?
Yeah, okay. Okay. Day in history, here we go. 1776, English newspaper announces Benjamin Franklin has joined the rebellion in America.
Not Ben.
Come on, Ben. 1783, John Hanson is so-called the first president. He dies. Oh, that's not going to shock to anybody. But luckily you heard it from us here first. 1832, New York's first mass transit debuts, a horse-drawn streetcar.
We're doing that one, right?
That'll be good. No, we're not doing that one. Oh. Herman Melville with Moby Dick. Who read that? You're supposed to read that in high school. How many people read it?
Not me.
All right. What's the first line?
Call me Ishmael.
There you go. Ding, ding on you. Nicely done.
Outstanding.
First of David Copperfield. First line of David Copperfield. You know it's going to be a long book because he used to get paid by the word. You're going to read about David Copperfield. I am born. You're like, oh my God, is this going to be a slog? Starting out with I am born.
Didn't he get in trouble?
We don't have that on the list. Keep going. Did he get in trouble? What's that supposed to mean?
Is David Copperfield the magician?
No, yes.
Do you not get it?
So, hold on, Tini. Hang on, I know. Yes, that's the magician. I'm talking about Charles Dickens' book.
Okay.
Okay, well.
Google that one.
Too many drugs. All right, here we go. 1867, first stock ticker debuts. Joe.
Oh, yeah.
1940, infamous the Coventry Blitz happens. In 1969, Apollo 12 lifts off, if you believe it. Remember the guy we had on, still debating? Which one was it?
Apollo? Art Seibel. He's the Apollo 11.
Yeah. And then in 1970, a plane crash devastates the Marshall University football team. Let's do the... we have got the book. Thank you, Brad Jackson, we gave me a whole bunch of books.
Yes.
And I came across this one. I look, let's see what's in here for 1940. Oh, there is a German Lufthansa, the bombers, coming over Coventry, England to bomb. So that little town there in England, they basically took over all the manufacturing and they were building all sorts of parts. Everybody was working there. Well, it became a target. So I'm reading along, okay, the air, 500 German bombers killing 1,000 civilians. They had a mass grave. They destroyed a medieval cathedral. And then it says, but then it gets down to the bottom here. It says, Winston Churchill had advance warning of the bombing raid, but decided not to tell the little city. He had made the difficult decision because he knew that the evacuation of the city in preparation for the raid would tip off the Nazis that he had cracked the German war code. The shells destroyed the cathedral. It still stands. So I was like, really? Really? I mean, it is a book, so it's got to be real. I thought, I don't know. So now I find out, not true.
What?
Churchill did not know. Yes, Joe.
Come on.
I know, crazy talk over here.
Kidding?
Because it makes for a better story. Oh, he knew, so it's the old, ends justify the means. Do I lose 1,000 lives, possibly, in order to save everybody else's life and not tip off the Germans so I figured out their code? No, he didn't. What the code wasn't quite clear enough. It said, yes, there'd be a bombing, but he didn't know where the bombing was going to occur. He had no idea it was going to be happening in that town. He also didn't know how many bombers it was going to be. theory. Yes, the code gave him something, but not enough specific information. So these rumors started flying about Churchill, and then when they wanted to get Churchill out of there, they pushed it even harder that, oh, he knew about this all the time, and we got to get Churchill, and he's not a war hero, he's a criminal, and that thing just kept going even to this day. But historians have tried to stamp this thing out as best they can as saying, no, he didn't know. He didn't know the exact code. He didn't know it was coming there to that town. So, but it's one of these rumors that still continues to fly. Just a little bit of sound. This is one of the survivors explaining the bombing coming down. Hang on. Take the music out. This is sort of sad, please.
We heard the bomb that was actually going to hit. I can remember my father saying, this one's for us. But it goes quiet, very silent. But it hit the house next door. So they're terraced houses. The house next door, there was nothing at all left. And our house was just a shell. But we were still alive under the stairs.
It was interesting. The provost, Richard Howard of the cathedral, at Christmas time, made an announcement over the BBC. This is just a few weeks after the bombing. And he asked for forgiveness for the people that had bombed the town. And then that led, within 2 years, to the German town of Kiel joining together. It became the sister city for the town there in the UK. And then in 1956, a cathedral was built as well. And this idea of we must learn to forgive. I mean, that's pretty, that's asking a lot of these people. We're a mass grave. There's still, the numbers are not sure how many people died altogether, but the number of bombers and the incendiary bombs that were dropped on the town there of Coventry, England on this very date. And just, sorry, the book.
Wow.
The book wrong.
That is disappointing.
Oh, because you like the conspiracy part, because it adds more layers to it.
Well, I just thought...
It's the old trolley experiment, right? You're in the trolley controlling it. Do you make it go one way and run over 5 people or 2 people, right? That whole thing?
Yeah, and I was interested to see what your thoughts were on that and whether that made Churchill a good leader or whether that, called into question his...
But they're doing that now. There's a lot of these crazy, hard right-wing Republicans. Tucker Carlson's got all these people on talking about, Churchill is, he's part of the war and part of the problem. And it's really weird how they're tearing all that sort of stuff apart. Anyway, there you go. So -1 on this book, this day in history. It's got that one wrong.
Thanks a lot, Brad.
Sorry about that one. All right, too bad. All right, let's see the power of the Diet Coke.
Diacopi, I believe.
Latin for the pause. How about that? And then Rye's coming by. Rye is very nervous. He is again, nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. He's going to be gnawing all the way through whatever is left of his fingers because he's like, I called him on Monday. How you doing? I'm really nervous. I can't sleep. I haven't eaten anything. I was like, oh my God, you got to see a doctor? No, I got to see the Seahawks win. This is the most important game, he said, of the last 10 years. Like, what? Is that in the book? Check that in the book. It's not in the book. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All righty then. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union. North 5 at JBLM, just past that main gate. Crash still takes up the right lane. Looks like they're getting ready to clear it, though. But you're backed up into Lacey, Olympia to Tacoma, pushing an hour and a half. That's a 50-minute delay. Seattle to Federal Way, we're improving. We're taking 55 minutes now. It's thick from the Duwamish curve to 516. That earlier crash down there has been cleared. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway just hit 1 hour. It's bumper to bumper now from 405 down to 516, where we may have a blocking problem there. And then heavy again from Algona into Puyallup. Speaking of Puyallup, we've got this long-term collision we're dealing with. It's actually a single-car crash that's in the median, eastbound 512 at Meridian. This truck is in the median, blocking the left lane at the scene, and you're backed up to the South Hill curve. Seattle to Everett, 45 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes. And out in Kitsap County, southbound 3, you've got scattered backups from Chico all the way down to Sinclair Inlet. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, holidays right around the corner. That means you're going into the closets. You keep all those decorations. And, man, Wow, what a mess. It's so disorganized in there, and you just open up, pull something out, and slam the door so a bunch of Christmas ornaments don't fall out. You want to get organized, this would be a great gift to give to yourself, especially around the holidays as more and more people are coming over, spending some time. Let's get the closets organized. Closets by Design can come in, meet with you, design, and then install for you. You can take advantage of big savings, Closets by Design, when they completely customize. So they came to the barn and put an entire wall of cabinets in the garage, redid the master bedroom, the other closet on the second floor, and now we have unbelievable organization and peace at the barn. So you can have the exact same thing in your house. You don't have to live in a barn. Closets by Design will, with their 22 years of experience being a family-run business, 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. It's a simple phone call, and then the consultant comes to your house and works their magic. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's Closets by Design. 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harder.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
With Thanksgiving around the corner, it's time to think about charitable giving for the year. CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger will have some tips.
Biggest game of the year for the Seahawks as they take on the Rams in L.A. We'll have the highlights.
All the day's news, traffic, and weather.
And Casey McNerthney from the King County Prosecutor's Office joins us for Crime and Punishment.
That's Monday, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker at 97.3 FM.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on mynorthwest.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at revivemenshealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Where'd you find this story, Joe? This doesn't seem like you.
Paul and some Amish sent it to me.
Oh. Die, to cut, die, split, right? Die, cope, I guess Greek, to cut in two, I think, that's the proper orientation of the word. So it's, like, I'll give you an example. Anybody can think of a word that's repeated twice in a famous Shakespeare quote? Anyone? Come on. What's the most famous Shakespeare quote that everybody knows?
To be or not to be?
Repeating the word twice.
Bond. James Bond.
See?
Captain, my captain.
Run, Forrest, run!
All right.
What do all these famous lines have in common?
Yeah.
Well, they all use a rhetorical device called diacope.
Mhm.
I know, big scary word, but it literally means to break in two. Diacope is when you repeat a word or phrase with a few intervening words in between. And if you want to write a memorable line, then diacope is your friend. I swear it's magical. It's like a cheat code to embed a line in the human brain. Because think about it. If James Bond walked in and just said, "Hi, my name is James Bond," no one would remember that. In fact, Ian Fleming, when he was creating the character, actually chose the name James Bond because it was the most boring, forgettable name he could think of. But say it with diacope, Bond, James Bond, and suddenly it becomes one of AFI's top 100 movie quotes of all time. Now, Shakespeare was a master of rhetoric, and he knew how to use diacope. It's easy to think of examples of it in his plays because they're some of his most memorable lines. Because again, diacope, something about the rhythm and the repetition of it makes lines memorable.
Oh, that's good.
To be or not to be. Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more. A horse, my kingdom for a horse. I am dying, Egypt, dying. Or, oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? All of these lines use diacope.
Okay. Did we get that? Okay.
That's fascinating.
It is fascinating. Fascinating.
You aware of that?
Aware of that?
Yeah.
See, do it twice. There's a website or email that I get all the time, Why We Buy. I love this. I always send these to Charlie, my daughter, because I pay for the thing. Here's one other one for you. Krispy Kreme rather than glazed donut. Why Krispy Kreme? Do you know why?
No.
Because smooth names stick to the brain. Krispy Kreme. Use nearby words start with making the same sound, make the same sort of sound that creates a rhythm in the brain. The repetition acts like a mental hook. So your brain latches onto the pattern and stores it in for efficiency.
Literally rolls off the tongue.
Right. How well you name something. And one other little one, use this one. I use it all the time. If you're going to ask somebody to do something, say, could you please call me back? Or will you do this or will you do that? Don't say that. You say, what are the chances? What are the chances you could get back to me by the end of the day? See, I didn't ask them, could you, with a yes or no. That's a binary yes or no. It's what are the chances? You've immediately moved them into a chance thing. And you're like, I don't know, 40%, 60%, I don't know, 80% chance, right?
So you're not committed, but
you
you're
don't say, could you call me back at the end of the day?
Yeah.
What are the chances that?
Yeah.
So I taught Nick that. So that's become this thing that she does. What are the chances you could take out the garbage this morning? I'm like, stop it.
I've heard her do that to you.
All the time.
What are the chances you could focus on me at dinner?
Yeah, the other day.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we focus on me. I'm like, Oh, okay. Then you better be really interesting over here. Sit there for an hour. Better come up with interesting things. You better repeat stuff twice. All right, let's go to Nate. Nate over there checking traffic. Yes, traffic. Nathan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, we cleared that long-term crash North 5 through JBLM just past the main gate. You're backed up to Marvin Road, though, and Lacey. Olympia to Tacoma is going to take you an hour and 25 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way is still hanging on at 1 hour. You're thick at the Duwamish Curve down to 516. Renton to Puyallup is at 1 hour. It's bumper to bumper from 405 past 516. You'll kind of thin out a bit, and then it gets real thick again from Algona into Puyallup. Northbound 405 is packed from South Center past the VMAC. At Northeast 44th, that right lane is blocked by maintenance crews. South Center to Bellevue is going to take you a half hour. Coming the other way, Bellevue to South Center is at 40 minutes. It's packed from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. From there, you'll begin to thin out. Our Lake Bridges, they're both doing good. South 5 heading into Seattle, you're packed at 85th to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, plan on 40 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
It's official. Seattle will have a new mayor.
I just spoke with Mayor-elect Katie Wilson to congratulate her on a hard-fought victory.
Stay with KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com for the latest.
I believe in good government, and I believe that there's a lot of work that needs to be done inside City Hall.
From the trusted Northwest News voices you depend on.
Seattle has spoken, asking about real change.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I'm Navy vet Phil Briggs, here for Navy Federal Credit Union. I always love Veterans Day because it's when I see my buddies posting up pictures of us when we were younger and built for speed. Navy Federal Credit Union also celebrates veterans of all branches and their families every day of the year. As a veteran, you can become a member and access exclusive rates, discounts, and financial tools for the whole family. So become a member today at NavyFederal.org/veterans. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster. Which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
There's 2 types of people.
The G and Ursula Show.
The ones that use a washcloth or a Lupa sponge.
Okay. Weekdays 9 to noon.
The other are bare hand bandits. They just grab the soap. Growing up, my delegation, we always use washcloths.
Hate to break it to you, but I think my hand's going to be much better than this brush.
Yeah, what? I am uncomfortable.
Really?
Rubbing all over myself without there being a buffer.
Watch live on YouTube and the KIRO Newsradio app.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at progressive.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
Heavy rain forecast in fire-scarred LA County.
We're going out door to door, issuing these mandatory evacuations.
Laney College athletic director dies after being shot.
This was a very targeted incident.
Some tariffs scrapped.
The products include beef, bananas, coffee, and tomatoes.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The rain is coming down in Southern California. And more is expected this weekend, possibly wreaking havoc on burn scar areas of the Pacific Palisades and Altadena, as KNX's John Baird reports.
There are concerns about mud or debris sliding off those slick, barren hillsides. Melissa Morona is with the Altadena Town Council.
Of course, we're concerned about the rain, the debris flow. Tomorrow's supposed to be one of the largest rainfall days.
She says an earlier storm, not long after the January fire, caused some mud to flow. And the coming storm is supposed to be even stronger. John Baird for CBS News, Altadena.
The storm system is also forecast to bring mountain snow. In Oakland, California, Laney College athletic director and former football coach John Beam has died after being shot on campus yesterday. A suspect is in custody. Acting Oakland Police Chief James Beer says this was a targeted shooting.
Coach Beam, although they did not have a close relationship, was open to helping everybody in our community. And this is not uncommon for him to have a relationship with someone that he would think needs help.
John Beam appeared on the Netflix program Last Chance U in 2020. Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee praises Beam as a mentor and community leader. The FAA and Department of Transportation are reducing the number of flights the airlines will need to cut as they go into the weekend. CBS's Chris Van Cleve with the latest.
It had sat at 6% for the last several days for flights into 40 of the nation's busiest airports. That number will drop to 3% starting Saturday morning.
Flight cancellations are easing as staff returns to normal at the nation's airports. There are almost 640 cancellations and close to 2,700 delays in the U.S. today, according to FlightAware. President Trump has signed an order that will lower tariffs on several agricultural products. CBS's Linda Kenyon has the latest from the White House.
U.S. Trade Representative Jamison Greer earlier confirmed the lower tariffs would apply to products that aren't grown or produced in the U.S. or are not available in sufficient quantities. President Trump's order comes amid growing pressures from Americans about the high cost of food, even as he has suggested prices have been trending downward.
A South Carolina man is executed by firing squad for 2004 killings. On Wall Street, the Dow closed down 310 points. The Nasdaq rose 30. Now this.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
Coming up, charges filed in a deadly fight after a concert in Auburn. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron Wilcox Family Farm Eggs has this one. It's one of those days, like yesterday, rain causing big delays and the culprit of many of our crashes throughout the day. Olympia to Tacoma, we're slowly improving. We're down to an hour and 10 minutes after clearing that that long-term crash at JBLM. Traffic is still thick, though, between Lacey and DuPont. In Puyallup, we just cleared another long-term crash, eastbound 512 and Meridian, opening up a lane, and that earlier backup quickly clearing out. Renton to Puyallup is 1 hour. It's bumper to bumper coming off 405 past 516 and then thick again from Algona into Puyallup. North 405, you're pretty heavy from South Center all the way past the VMAC at Northeast 44th near the VMAC. That right lane is blocked by maintenance crews, adding to the backup. South Center to Bellevue is a half hour. Bellevue to South Center is at 40 minutes. South 5 packed from 85th to I-90 and Linwood to Seattle will take you 45 minutes. Everett Marysville is a half hour now. You're bumper to bumper from Highway 2 to 529. And now northbound 529 is packed between Everett and Marysville. Fresh food comes from local farms. Check the package. For healthier eggs or 3 times the omega-3s, choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs. Locally fresh since 1909. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A murder suspect from Auburn on the run since late August is now captured in Alabama. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch with details.
King County prosecutors say the deadly attack happened August 27th following a concert at White River Amphitheater. 31-year-old Devin McCurdy is charged with second-degree murder in the death of Brandon Godsey. After being hit by a single punch, Godsey fell back, hit his head, and never regained consciousness. Casey McNurtney with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
It's not like the movies or what you think of in TV shows. People don't just get back up, and you don't get away without charges.
The extradition process is underway. Prosecutors have asked for $2 million bail. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A construction job in Lakewood became a rescue mission this morning. Emily Tenser with West Pierce Fire and Rescue says it appears a worker suffered a medical emergency inside a sewage pipe on Bridgeport Way near 75th Street.
At the time, they were 290 feet deep into the pipe, as well as about 15 feet underground.
She says the construction crew used a rope and a crane to get the man out before he was rushed to the hospital at last check in critical condition. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun reports on a daring rescue in Pacific County, where the Coast Guard plucked the father and son from their overturned boat near Chinook.
The victims were perched on their boat. Rescuers say a father and son were just clinging to their overturned boat in very cold water. They were there for 2 hours last Wednesday before help arrived. They both had hypothermia, and the Coast Guard crew started searching for the boaters after a relative reported that they hadn't returned home.
First place is at stake when the Seahawks play the Rams in Los Angeles this Sunday. Both teams enter the game tied atop the NFC West. Head coach Mike McDonald.
At the end of the day, though, it's going to be who plays the best game. You know, who plays their style of ball more, and who can kind of inflict their style over the other team.
Now, biggest game of the season so far. Kickoff on Sunday is set for 1:05. Listen right here on KIRO News Radio. Weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are looking at off and on showers tonight and right on through the weekend. Right now, 48 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Fellas, you think we could listen to the radio or something?
Radio? Who needs a radio?
Okay, that's what we need just before we come on the air. That's nice. That's a nice kick in the old beanbag.
The old cassette player.
The old cassette player. What do you say we dive into the news? Really? Dive into the
I'm Rick Riz with a reminder to join KOZI Saturday mornings with my good buddy Ry Curley, one of the most talented young broadcasters in the Pacific Northwest, and a second cup of coffee at 8:45 Saturday mornings on Cozy.
Yeah, the most talented. Here he comes now. Talking Sports with Ry Roller. I've asked Aaron to stick around because I wanted to see if you guys needed to. Who wrote this? Lick each other's wounds. That's not right. That's not right. About Cal Raleigh and not getting the MVP. What's wrong? What's the face for?
Don't ever care about MVP crap. And he wasn't going to get it anyway. It didn't surprise me.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked either. that Raleigh didn't get it. I was hopeful. I thought maybe it would have been a tie at the very best, co-MVP status, but 17-13 vote.
When was the last? Have they ever done a co-MVP? Maybe like Sosa, McGuire.
No, it was like back in the 70s. I want to say they did it. I looked it up.
Jay Johnstone and Steve Carlton.
Did you just make that up?
Yes.
Okay.
Why is it crap, right?
The MVP, and this ranges to all sports, is just chum. It's just fodder for the people who need to talk about baseball every single day for multiple hours throughout a season.
Wow.
They just need something to talk about. It's really, what does it get you? What is it, the MVP? Cal Raleigh had an incredible season. What he did as a catcher is recognized, and he's being recognized. And people are aware of Cal Raleigh on a national stage. Look, what Aaron Judge did, and this is why I think Aaron Judge deserved to win it. He had better hitting numbers than Cal Raleigh in every statistical category other than 2 counting stats, which was home runs and RBI. Whereas you look at every other thing Judge did, it was incredible the year put up. But we are just so fatigued as fans and as voters of the MVP for voting for Judge. It's like LeBron James in the NBA. There was like an 11-year gap where LeBron James really was deserved of getting the MVP every single year. But it wasn't fun anymore. We had to give it to Derrick Rose or give it to Russell Westbrook one year, where Judge is just going to keep doing this. And if it was a different guy, if it was like a young new face like Gunnar Henderson or Bobby Witt put up Judge's numbers, it wouldn't even have been a contest. Of course it's going to be Judge. Value is subjective. And that's why this is a never-ending debate, because everybody just defines subjective in their own terms. So what are we doing here?
Exactly. Let's go to football. Please. Andrew, football. The Seattle Seahawks 7-2. And so are the Rams at 7-2. This is known as the game of the week. Unfortunately for most of the country, they won't be able to watch it. As we head into the 11th week, the Rams struggling against a heavy personnel set, and the Seahawks run a lot of heavy personnel sets.
Both teams do, actually. Sean McVay this year and this year alone has really leaned into 13 personnel. You're going to hear a lot about that. All that means is 13.
Aaron.
It's not the quantity of the number. It's 1-3, 1-3, 1 running back, 3 tight ends. And then through that math, 1 wide receiver as well. So, it's going to be a great game. Both these teams are very similar, as it turns out. And McVay always scares me because he's always at the leading edge of innovation when it comes to NFL offenses. I remember in 2017 and 2018 when he got those early Rams teams rolling with Jared Goff and Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, coincidentally. Mm-hmm. They ran this really not new, but sort of this tweak on traditional offenses where they ran 11 personnel. So the exact opposite, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers, but they ran it from reduced splits. Everybody was tight to the line, and they ran the ball a lot out of 11 personnel, not something teams had done traditionally, because when you put 11 players on offense, you usually get matched with either a nickel or a dime defense. And
as everybody knows.
But whatever. And they did this, and it was brilliant, and they got to a Super Bowl pretty much by doing that. And it took 2 or 3 years for the league to adjust and calibrate and understand how to defend that, even though teams are still working on it because it's brilliant in its own right. Those PA boots, those nakeds. Oh, my God, Jared Goff just ripping us up. In fact, if you go back and watch last year when we played the Rams at home in Week 9, they beat us in overtime on that exact play. They ran a boot to the left side and hit us in the end zone. So McVay seems to have found his next thing, right? Genius people always come up with genius ideas. And it seems like his next thing, his next innovation is using 3 tight ends on the field at one time and both throwing and running out of that. And it's a way of it's this chess play where we're going to put 3 big dudes out there. How are you going to match that personnel-wise? Well, Seattle almost never plays a base defense. They're always going to be in something light, like a nickel or a dime defense. So the cat and mouse game there, 2 brilliant, genius head coaches teeing off here, but it'll just, as I was watching ESPN all week. Well, it's going to come down to which quarterback makes more plays.
Are you paying for that on ESPN?
I think in some way I probably am. Yeah.
Yeah, really. By the end of the game, it's going to who's got more points. Right. Seattle's defense, is it enough to hold the Rams? Because I believe our defense is better than their defense if you match them up line for line. And the amount of injuries that the Seahawks have right now, the list goes on and on and on and on and on, unfortunately. So I don't know who we have on there, what kind of holes we have in place. But everybody that's saying this is the game of the week, if not a really, really important indicator for the rest of the season. Why is that?
Because these are probably the two best teams in the NFL by any metric. Like, it's not two best teams in division or the conference. These are probably 1 and 2. And how you would rank that 1 and that 2 depends on the person. I personally think the Rams, probably, if we're going to look at this from like a college football perspective, they have a more impressive resume as far as who they've beaten and how they've beaten them. And their losses are also reflect pretty well on them as well. Whereas Seattle, you can kind of dig deep a little bit and go, I don't know. Some of these wins are kind of suspect because of course, you're beating the crap out of everybody, but a lot of these teams suck anyway. The most impressive win for Seattle at this point seems to be either Jacksonville, Houston, or Pittsburgh. That appear to be their best wins. So I think it's going to be great. Seattle actually clean bill of health for the most part. I think Josh Jobe will be back. The only two guys out are center Sandell and I believe Torrey Horton, the rookie receiver from Colorado State. But yeah, our defense this year, incredible. It's all going to come down to, can you get a pass rush with 4 guys? You say this every single week. Can you get a pass rush with 4? Seattle's been able to do that throughout this year. It'll be a big thing because you got to make Matt Stafford, who's playing at an MVP level. The guy's just perfect. It's insane. He's however old, 35, 36 years old, just spinning it. You got to make him uncomfortable because when he gets into that offense and they get into that rhythm, he can read that field just mechanically. Drop back, 5-step, 3-step drop. 1, not open. 2, not open. 3, open throw. And it's perfect and it's accurate. Most quarterbacks, they clam up. Sam Darnold, sort of guilty of that throughout his career. Can't count to 3, can't read out the field, maybe not understanding what he's seeing. Clam up, take a sack, throw it away, throw a pick or whatever.
So getting that early pressure on him, just to rattle him, just to make him think maybe the right side or left side is not giving him the protection that he needs, they're going to have to penetrate as fast as they can to be able to throw him off the rhythm that he has been able to accomplish over at a very, very long career. Yeah, you're right. I watched some of the highlights earlier this morning. If that guy gets into a rhythm and eating up the clock and just, picking up 4 or 5 yards, 6 yards, just wearing down that defense. We go back to what we had a number of years ago with the Seahawks, where the defense was on the field the entire game. And then they were just smoked out by the fourth quarter. You could tell there was no more rush. They weren't breaking on any of the patterns that were being run, and it got really sloppy fast because they were just gassed. You remember those years we'd watch it and you'd see them when you and I used to go to the game, you'd see the defense when all of a sudden they're back out on the field and they're basically jogging to get out there because they just don't have anything more to give.
Yeah, well, a lot of that fell on the fault of our offensive line in those years. It's because our offense was never on the field, was why our defense was. But it actually got worse, Dad.
Yes,
those years were tough, but you weren't around for like a 2020.
Oh, here we go.
Years.
Dad wasn't around. Well, maybe Dad was out working. Maybe I wasn't home all the time. All right, maybe because I was spending time on the road just trying to, pay for that fancy sweatshirt you got on with your fancy roof over your head. Well, there you go. Okay, blowout. Got it. All right, so I was not around.
Where were you?
He's saying that he really watched more football in 2021 than I was watching.
I see.
Okay.
I was trying to absolutely not at all what I was getting at. I was trying to build the story of the evolution of this defense.
I got it.
But like I said a few weeks ago, like really this is the great cleanse of the way the Seahawks have played this year. And I'm hoping we can it would just be so sweet. This is the kind of game you have to remember building up to this week. It's like, it's just a game, none of it matters, right? I have no financial stake in this. I have my life is not going to be better or worse really in any physical way if this game doesn't go the Seahawks way, but this is a huge, huge game of the week for the Seahawks. And I'm just so pumped up. Sam Darnold, one last thing on him.
Yes. Last
year, his final game as a Viking, he took 9 sacks in a loss to the Rams. The Rams demolished him. He looked so bad, in fact, that the market for Sam Darnold as a free agent dried up pretty much because of that game, and that game alone, it was that bad. They lost 41-14. That was the last time he played the Rams. So
So
interesting thing to watch out for there.
Let's talk just personal for a moment. You do second cup of coffee on Saturday, the kickoff on Sunday, 1:05. Tell everybody how your day begins on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's great. It's been like this ever since I was 5, maybe 4 years old. Wake up typically around 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's coffee. It's clean, like clean everything. Make the space nice and pure. All right. And then we set up the iPad, charger, phone, charger, TV goes on to either Fox or CBS. We prefer the Fox crew because Strahan's funny. Terry Bradshaw needs to retire, by the way. Okay. And then 10 o'clock, first game starts. Typically it's not the Seahawks. We watch all of that. One game on the TV. Red Zone on the iPad. If people aren't familiar with Red Zone, it's every game. It's whip around coverage. And then on my phone, the third screen, that will usually be another game that I'm interested in. And then that'll just go for 4 hours. And then typically the Seahawks will kick off at 1 o'clock. We'll roll into that. You turn off the iPad, obviously, at that point. Obviously. Just all the focus. I actually get off the couch and I have this little interesting ottoman that I sit on. It's sort of like a saddle. And so I sit on that for the Seahawks game, 100% focused. And then depending win or loss, win, all's good in the world. Loss, lights off, blinds down, bed. Day is over.
Wow.
I went to bed at 5:30 p.m. after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game.
Wow.
Unmedicated?
And you said the word we.
Unmedicated, yeah.
You said the word we 3 times. There's no we.
No, there's no me. Well, my cat.
Okay.
Doing great.
Okay. All right. Should I not, this last part, should I not be texting or calling at any point in the next, as soon as Sunday begins?
It's
okay.
Text, I can't guarantee you'll get a response. Probably not during the game, but okay. I'll be alert and I'll be around until then. Okay. So excited about this. Okay. And I hate that it's in Los Angeles. I hate that it's in that stadium. My God. Playing a game in a damn sound set. It is so lame down there. Okay. The crowd is not into it. Nope. We talk about a corporate crowd. And then it's too perfect. Football's supposed to be played outside in the elements. I get it. It doesn't rain in LA, so there's not much you can do about the weather. But it's like a shopping mall they play there, and it's hideous. And they're going to do the Super Bowl there 10 times in the next 15 years. And every primetime game, it's beautiful SoFi. The city is a dump, and the people suck.
Whoa, wow. Whoa, okay. Wow. All right.
Unnecessary.
Time for a prediction. Here we go. You ready? Seahawks taking on the Rams. Roman Gabriel aging for the LA Rams. Going way back. All right. Seahawks, Rams.
I go with the Seahawks to win 31-28. Jason Myers walk-off field goal.
Wow. There we go. Take it to the bank.
Do it.
Thank you, Rye Roller. Much appreciated. There he goes. Took a lot out of him, huh? By the way, everybody in that city sucks, too, by the way. All right. How about that?
I love how disinterested he is in talking anything Mariners.
Yeah, poor Aaron's like, I guess you don't need me. Yeah, moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next thing.
That's pain.
I heard it. Move on. Exactly. When I asked him to set up the day, I had a kind of idea of the way it worked, but I didn't realize the intensity. Sitting on an ottoman the entire time. The house, his little apartment gets cleaned, and then it's focused, and he's got all of this stuff going.
You were giving Nate grief for wearing a jersey, calling him a victim of bread and circus.
Right. Well, that's Nate. I mean, let me say something. And I'm tooting my son's horn here. My kid's 22 years old. He's not working off notes. It's pretty crazy that he's got all of those names, all of those numbers, all of those stats. It's pretty wild.
It's savantish. I think it's a mental illness.
Thank you, doctor. All right, let's check Nate over there. A little bit of bread circus, then Seahawks. Here we go, Nathan.
All righty, Subaru of Puyallup, South 5 on the ramp to eastbound 90. We've got a collision blocking that right lane. Linwood to Seattle on the main line. You're pushing 45 minutes. Typical thick backup starting in Northgate. North 5, you're bumper to bumper from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Our lake bridges are still looking good. Seattle to Everett, 45 minutes. You're crowded from the U District through Linwood, but you're at a good pace through most all of this. Bellevue to Everett, also 45 minutes with stop-and-go volumes between Kirkland and Alderwood. Seattle to Federal Way, still a solid hour commute. You're crawling now from Interurban Avenue down to 516. Once you get to 516, you're going to start to bust free pretty quickly. Olympia to Tacoma, also 1 hour, crowded from Nisqually all the way into Tacoma. Traffic is stressful, but buying your next car doesn't have to be. Subaru of Puyallup has a limited number of remaining 2025 models with exceptional savings. Start shopping now at SubaruofPuyallup.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, it is the best thing you can do to bring some peace to your house, some organization as well, and happy wife, happy life. I'm talking about having closets, brand new closets, customized closets, going to give you the organization that you need. When they came out to the barn there in the club, I was really surprised. I was like, okay, just whatever you want to do, Nick, just if it's going to get organized, that's great. So the consultant comes out and sits there from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. They walk all around, and she has all sorts of ideas. And it's not like they're coming in with a box of parts and just sort of jerry-rigging them in there. I mean, totally customized. Because my request to Nick was, look, Nick, find a local company that's family-run that's been around for a while. And she did. Closets by Design. Closets by Design, truly customized. And when I saw what they did in the garage with a whole wall of cabinets, what they did up in the master bedroom, and then they built a cabinet in the laundry room that matched the rest of the woodwork, I was like, oh, my God, what's the price? Well, Closets by Design gives you 40% off, plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Easy for me to say. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. Closet-by-Design.com.
The 2025 American League MVP, Cal. Hold up, what? He didn't win? Aaron Judge? You've got to be kidding me.
This is ridiculous.
He's our MVP.
He was the heartbeat of the team all season long.
Congratulations on a historic season, Cal.
The modern-day Bambino.
From a grateful region and KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's Brock Hewitt here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Is leaking and rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A mess in Seattle's Inner Bay neighborhood where a landslide sent debris downhill today near an apartment above Elliott Avenue. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley is there.
Crews have been out here for hours since this took place early this morning. They have been working to stabilize the hill. They have been clearing out drains as well. The landslide caused a big hole in the hillside just below a fence of that building. Work crews say nobody was hurt, but the residents have been told to avoid a walkway near that landslide. FAA is taking steps to get air travel back to normal now that the federal government is back open. CBS's Chris Van Cleve reports the number of required flight cancellations is dropping.
It had sat at 6% for the last several days for flights into 40 of the nation's busiest airports. That number will drop to 3% starting Saturday morning, as the FAA continues to monitor how the national airspace is performing coming out of the government shutdown. Seattle Mayor-elect Katie Wilson appeared on CNN last night, her first national interview since being elected. Says she plans to tackle the homelessness crisis on day one in office. More from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Wilson told CNN she'll be looking for meaningful solutions. That includes getting the homeless off the streets and into shelters and housing.
People are really looking for meaningful solutions. We have rates of unsheltered homelessness higher than just about anywhere in the country.
Wilson has said she'll be targeting the homeless crisis in the city's downtown corridor, especially with the World Cup coming next year. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Health officials in Snohomish County now report a confirmed E. coli infection tied to the Twin Sisters Creamery's raw milk cheese. This case is part of a larger outbreak. At least 10 illnesses are now reported across Washington and Oregon. The company based in Ferndale has recalled its aged raw milk cheeses back on October 24th. Coming up on 4:32 now, we go to Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Seattle Sports has this commute. You got to slow down out there. I'm seeing spin-outs from drivers going too fast, especially around corners, and some have been hydroplaning this afternoon. We have a lot of standing water out there. Here in Seattle, South 5, your on-ramp to eastbound 90, our collision has been moved to the Gore Point, no longer blocking the main line. You're packed from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you 45 minutes. North 5, bumper to bumper from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett doing okay. You're both at 45 minutes. North 405 just past Northeast 44th and Renton. Your right lane is blocked by construction crews that are working up there on the hillside, and this has you in a bumper-to-bumper backup starting near State Route 167. Renton to Bellevue right now is going to take you 45 minutes. Olympia to Tacoma is still hovering at 1 hour. You're still crowded from Nisqually all the way into Olympia. Coming the other way, Tacoma to Olympia is at 50 minutes, and we've got off and on slowing through South Tacoma, about a 4-mile backup through JBLM, and then more slowing as you head into Olympia. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain tapering to showers tonight, won't be quite as heavy. Spotty areas of light rain Saturday, along with some sunshine, and then better chance for rain later Sunday into Monday. Right now, 49 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 TV's Pinpoint Alert Days. It's your advance notice to stay safe. When weather threatens to damage and disrupt your daily life, KIRO 7 sounds the alarm, preparing you days in advance. Stay informed, stay prepared with KIRO 7 Pinpoint Alert Days only on KIRO 7 News.
Thank you, sir. All said, well read. Buggy's Auto Service Centers. Buggy's Auto Service Centers. 16 locations, been around for 50 years. That's Buggy's. Buggy's Auto Service Centers. Don't fill your car with rats. Throw it off a cliff, take it to Bucky's. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. Buggy. Good enough? Okay, I'm gonna do a little fun thing. I never know what song Andrew's going to be playing. He always wants us to sort of sing along to it. Somebody gives a really crappy one. That's not bad. We can handle that one.
Pretty good.
Service Centers. All right, super babies. They're already here. They're on their way. Basically, the idea is through AI and genetic splicing, you're going to be able to eliminate all disease. You're going to be able to make sure your kid is super smart. You're going to be able to make sure through DNA that your kid is tall, good looking, whatever color you want your kid to be, whatever you want eye color to be. You're going to be able to create a super race. This idea has been around for a while. Horace Taft came along and said to Margaret Sanger, who loved killing babies. She was the one that started Planned Parenthood. She was the one that believed in the super race. She liked the idea of killing and making sure that idiots never conceived. So Sanger and Horace Taft came up with this idea. We're going to create the super races, because it's just like, think about farm animals. You got to breed the good people. You got to breed the good babies. You got to be bred, and then we got a better world. She's like, yeah, go get it, Horace Taft. You're going to be great with that idea. So it's been around for a while. Even before those guys, you go all the way back to England and France, where we want the king and the queen. They're going to be, they've got superior genes. So let's get the queen to be married to the king, and blah, blah, blah. So they've always tried to do this. Society's always tried to have, like, the best of the best of the best, and everybody else is a bunch of losers.
Selective breeding.
Yeah, selective breeding. So this is where the gene editing stuff comes into play. This is Vargas references to a Wall Street Journal story, the preventativeness. So this is that you're going to be eliminate all disease, get rid of the disease. You can see it in the DNA. You're like, ooh, is that going to turn into cerebral palsy? Is that going to be multiple sclerosis? Is that going to be something else? Or you just simply, you'd reach in there and move that out.
You
of there.
may have heard the practice referred to as building designer babies. It's illegal here in the United States. But a new Wall Street Journal report alleges that there is an American company trying to do just that by going overseas. The report claims the Silicon Valley startup called Preventive is working toward genetically engineering its first human baby and may experiment in another country where that's legal. It is worth noting that Preventive denies the Wall Street Journal report and says it's only focusing on preclinical research.
That's how it starts. What's your best cut in here, Joe, that thinks sort of sums it all up of all the many that you spent all this time putting in place? I can bounce off of.
Well, I think the second cut right there, it makes a good point.
This is Metzler supporting the goal. He says,
human biology is extremely complex. We don't really understand it all that well. It sounds great if you're thinking of the human genetics are like computer code and there's a virus or a little bug and we're going to go fix it. But we have no idea what all of our genes do. And so it's easy to foresee a future, and I personally do foresee a future where we're going to have different options for how to treat genetic diseases. We can do it after somebody is born. We can do fetal surgery, and in some limited number of cases in the future, we will be able to edit the pre-implanted embryos and change a life that would have been 5 painful years and an early death to 90 years and a fulfilling life. The issue is that we're not there yet.
That's not an issue. Progress takes steps, right? You try it and you fail and you try something else. Yeah, you're not there yet, but they're going to keep doing it. I guess the problem, if he was able to continue, was they're not there yet. And in between, what are the mistakes? Those are human lives that are somehow messed up because of this kind of thing. And then you're like, well, that one didn't work, so we get rid of that one.
That's his speculation, is that the mistakes they're going to make along the way make it unethical right now. But how do you get to there from now without making any of those
Right,
mistakes?
because then you get into the people that are saying, well, embryos, that's a human life. Yes,
Right.
it's frozen, so then that is a life if you're letting the embryos die or the freezer breaks and they go to room temperature, that's a human life. So at what point do you all of a sudden intercede and say, well, it's just an embryo, so yeah, that's okay. Or is it the baby starts to develop, and now they're developing the babies outside the womb.
Right.
Well, that one didn't quite work out. Get rid of that, right? Because you're now messing around. I mean, you are right in there. This is the human hand with a rubber glove on it, replacing the hand of God, if you believe in that type of thing. The problem being, if you look at this thing 5, 10, 15 years from now, then you're going to have, the super rich are creating super babies, right? That's the same thing happens right now. You're going to, we want to hurry up and get our friend of mine knows some people that live in New York City and their baby's just been born and already they're advocating to get their kid into this kindergarten. They're like, all the rich kids send a kid. Okay, because, if my kid doesn't go to that school and then this doesn't graduate from this place and doesn't graduate from Harvard, they're not going to have the success that is needed, because it's the standing up in the stadium theory. If the guy in front of you stands up, or if you stand up to see, well, then the person behind you has to stand up. Then the person behind them has to stand up. So no, everybody's standing up. So whatever the value was of you standing up is now zero, because now everyone is standing. That's what happened with college. Well, I take the advantage to send my kid to college. Well, not everybody goes to college, so the value of that degree is basically back to zero. So this becomes the division where the rich are able to create the super baby, and everybody else is like, well, that's a super baby. Well, then you'd say, does the government get involved and try to level that playing field? Now the government's going to a certain portion of the money is going to be going to, this community to that community, so they too can make super babies.
Yeah, and I think that the preventative, like preventing, long-term illness in a child, I think that will at some point become pretty uncontroversial. As IVF is now, It's essentially doing the same thing. It's I'm going to pick the eye color, the aesthetic appearance, the intelligence thing too. But again, will we get to a point where you can actually quantify intelligence in an embryo and somehow say, I want to dial this up? That's where people are really going to be split ethically.
Right. And then the other part, say with the baby and the disease, well, if you have the money, then you're going to be able to eradicate this disease. And then you could have people going, well, you know what? If you can't afford it, maybe it's best you don't have the kid. Maybe you don't bring the kid into the world. So those that can afford the kid to fix the disease, they can live longer, and your kid will be subjected to whatever disease is still out there because you don't have the money. Then, pour more money into it. I think it would be probably better off as we all take care of each other here with money spent, rather than, trying to fix something even prior to the beginning of the conception. But this is not going to stop. The genie and the bottle are all out, and they're heading over to, where are they going? Over to UAE, and you could go over to Saudi Arabia, and you could be able to over there in those countries. China's probably doing it right now. There's these weird rules in place, international rules, that you're not allowed to do this sort of stuff. You're not allowed to experiment with human embryos. But who's following up on it? Nobody. And China's doing it as well, because they realize, hey, let's just create a super gene. If we can make a really, really smart kid, then we'll try to breed those two smart kids together. They'll be super duper smart, and the rest of Americans will be sitting there like TikTok, watching somebody do a cinnamon challenge.
Oh yeah.
By the morons. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns?
If you could, if it was affordable and you could have a child and prevent them from having any.
What's affordable? I mean,
it wasn't. It was just.
Well, for instance, when Lace was pregnant, they gave her a couple of shots to stop this or stop that, right? And then it was really interesting was the conversation where do you want to know if we can do this test to find out if the kid has Down syndrome?
Right.
Because then it's like, well, then the kid has Down syndrome. You want to find the test? And Lace and I both said, no, we don't want the test. Whatever God gives us, we're going with it.
Well, there you go.
There we go. There we are. So we end up with a kid that says everybody in
LA
are dumb.
Things Rye.
Playing.
Does Rye know where Joe's from? He does. Oh yeah.
It didn't bother him. He's not afraid to express. And playing in a football stadium there is like playing in a shopping mall. Wow, hot takes from that kid. Let's go back to Nate over there checking traffic. Nathan on a Friday.
Here I am. Seattle International Auto Show has the update. We've got a new collision in Alderwood, South 405 at Filbert Road. This is our second collision in this exact same spot this afternoon. This one taking up 3 right lanes. That leaves 2 lanes open. Linwood to Seattle, 45 minutes. You're heavy from Northgate all the way to the West Seattle Bridge now. North 5, bumper to bumper at the north end of Boeing Field in the downtown. In Berrien, we've got a new collision at southbound 509 at South 128. That's why you're backed up bumper to bumper to Cloverdale there in South Park. North 405, just past Northeast 44th in Renton. That right lane is still blocked by construction crews, and that's got you backed up into South Center now. South Center to Bellevue, 40 minutes. Bellevue to South Center, 35 minutes. Olympia to Tacoma, still a 1-hour drive, and it's still slow from Nisqually all the way into Tacoma. See them, touch them, drive them at the Seattle International Auto Show presented by BECU. Lumen Field Event Center, November 14 through 16. Discover your drive, seattleautoshow.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, if you're a guy and you're driving in your truck or your car right now, you might have a little sticker there on the left-hand side that tells you when you should change the oil or the fluids. Now, if you're the super truck guy or supercar guy, you don't even look at that thing because you just know, yeah, I better take it in. But for the rest of us, we look, okay, certain amount of miles or a certain time, I got to go in there, get the oil changed because you're taking care of the car because if the car or the truck break down. Oh, my God, the expense, the annoyance. I got to get a new truck or whatever it is. So you just make the small changes. You take care of those things. You are proactive is the word we're looking for. You're proactive with your maintenance of your car, but not with your health. Most guys are not proactive, but you do want to have a longer life. So the question is, why not? Why not make a small investment in order to get a big return, which is more years on this earth with people that love you and you doing great things and having a fun time. So if you want to be proactive, team up with Longevity Medical Clinic. You take the free health analysis. You'll get a doctor, and they will work with you to make sure the big bad stuff like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer stay away as long as possible. Take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harder.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
With Thanksgiving around the corner, it's time to think about charitable giving for the year. CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger will have some tips.
Biggest game of the year for the Seahawks as they take on the Rams in L.A. We'll have the highlights.
All the day's news, traffic, and weather.
And Casey McNerthney from the King County Prosecutor's Office joins us for Crime and Punishment.
That's Monday, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, at 97.3 FM.
Constipation with belly pain that keeps coming back and back and back. If your symptoms keep coming back, talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C. Linzess could help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. DayandNight.net.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
Skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Fred Meyer, QFC, or Amazon Fresh. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game, Sunday, November 30th. Head to the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO Newsradio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, November 11th through November 17th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Life can be stressful, but buying your next car doesn't have to be. Subaru of Puyallup has a nice selection of remaining 2025 models with exceptional savings, including popular Outbacks and Crosstreks. Start shopping now at SubaruofPuyallup.com.
Don't forget, it's Friday. That means it's know-it-all quiz time. Teeny, get ready. There's a whole bunch of people that want to come on. Play the know-it-all quiz. It's really simple. All you got to do is text one interesting thing about yourself to Joe, 1-888-973-5476. 1-888-973-5476. Win yourself a whole box of Bite Me cookies, the official cookie of the John Curley Show. Teeny, make sure that every cookie is tasty by taking a small bite out of each one. If you get any infection from her, just clear liquids for about 2 weeks. You'll be fine. That's Bite Me cookies. That's what you win. But more importantly, what you get is you get the feeling of like being on live radio that people are actually listening to. Or you can imagine that they are, like we do.
Yeah.
1-888-973-5476. Come on in. Let's see who has got one interesting thing about themselves. Send it to Joe. Oh my gosh, is this breaking news there, Andrew? I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. A call to our voicemail hotline from a listener reporting this news.
There's a large group of protesters of Trump with picket signs and et cetera on the corner of Buffalo Edward Highway and 164th.
Nate, do you have that? The corner of
Buffalo? Yes, sir. And 164th. Got it.
Hang on.
On all four corners.
How many corners?
4 corners.
All 4.
Nice. They're all senior citizens. And they have all kinds of great signs about if you believe the women, honk, MAGA, morons are running the country. Anyways, it'd be a good shot if anybody's nearby. You guys could interview some of them.
There we go.
Nice.
All right.
Who we sending, James?
Let's see.
Oh, he loves
Check out the newsroom. Somebody fire off a cannon out there. See if swing a dead cat. See if you can hit anybody. There's Aaron there. No,
it's pretty quiet out there.
It's pretty quiet out there. There's Jacob. That sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, is he still here?
Why is he still here?
Oh, he's packing up.
Oh, he's going away. It's like we're in a newsroom. Well, news stops around 3:30 here at KIRO, and then you can all go home.
Yeah. Noon on Fridays.
What's that? Oh,
Noon on
especially on
Friday.
Fridays. Yeah, these big clouds of dust, people running out. In fact, even Ursula was here to debate me. People were like, yeah, good debate. It's not a debate. We weren't debating, were we?
A little bit.
Expressing ideas.
Having a conversation.
In a cordial way. All right, by the way, so we took care of all that. Yeah, the Know What All quiz. 1-888-973-5476. Welcome. One interesting thing about yourself. It's amazing what people think are interesting. And then I'm always like, it's not going to be good. But it always is. They got some weird thing about their life. Then they're like, that's interesting.
Yeah, usually, unless we think it's interesting going into it, then it's usually boring. But as long as we don't think it's going to be interesting, it's going to be fascinating.
See that there? See that, everybody? It's a low bar, and then all of a sudden it just goes way up when we get into it. All right, 1-888-973-5476. Teeny, get ready to the phones. What are you doing back? Even Teeny almost left. Somebody took the lid off the jar.
I had to turn it around.
Okay, that'll save us. All right, Nate's checking traffic. Nathan, what's happening out there?
Well, we got this collision in Alderwood, South 405 at Filbert, blocking 2 right lanes. Now it had 3 lanes closed. Now we have 3 lanes open. This has traffic backed up onto I-5 in both directions there at the interchange. Linwood to Seattle, plan on 45 minutes. It's heavy from Northgate to the West Seattle Bridge. In Burien, we still got a collision southbound 509 at South 128th, and that's got you backed up bumper to Cloverdale in South Park. North 405 in the south end, jam-packed from the West Valley Highway up to Northeast 44th near the VMAC. We just cleared the construction crews there that were blocking the right lane, so this will help to open up this backup. South Center to Bellevue, 40 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway down to 50 minutes, and Seattle to Federal Way, still a long 1-hour drive. It is thick from Interurban Avenue down to State Route 516. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, attention landlords, you know these sorts of stories. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, a tenant calls, the water heater's not working. This is the 3rd time, and then you think, oh my God, I got to get out of this thing. I'm just stuck in it. I want to sell, and then 1 year turns into 10 years, and then you're like, how am I going to get out of this? You know that, well, if you look at the numbers, you probably got 1 to 3% return on it, but you're stuck because you don't want to have the tax implications. That's where Madrona Financial and CPAs, they're hosting a free landlord retirement plan workshop. You're going to need this. It's coming up on the 18th of November in Kirkland, the 19th of November in Tacoma, and then back to Kirkland on the 20th. It's happening at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Here's what makes Madrona different. They are wealth advisors and CPAs, so they understand both investment and taxes. They understand their workshop is going to help you, so you learn how you're not going to be able to trigger a massive passive capital gains. Also avoiding the depreciation recapture surprises, all the stuff that goes with it, stopping you from selling. You will learn from Madrona and CPAs. Here is how you get yourself a seat, and they're going to go fast. 833-673-7373. 833-673-7373 to reserve your spot.
It's official. Seattle will have a new mayor.
I just spoke with Mayor-elect Katie Wilson to congratulate her on a hard-fought victory.
Stay with KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com for the latest.
I believe in good government, and I believe that there's a lot of work that needs to be done inside City Hall.
From the trusted Northwest News voices you depend on.
Seattle has spoken, asking about real change.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The G and Ursula Show.
There's 2 types of people. One's that use a washcloth. The other are bare hand bandits.
Hate to break it to you, but
Ursula, you a bare hand bandit?
Weekdays 9 to noon. Watch live on YouTube.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at revivemenshealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. An atmospheric river is expected to drop the heaviest rain in Southern California in the overnight hours tonight through tomorrow morning. L.A. County Sheriff's Deputy Rolando Iglesias has visited almost 24 homes in the fire-scarred areas of Altadena, urging residents to leave.
We highly encourage everyone to just, during the meanwhile the storm is here, to stay away from the residents.
CBS News meteorologist Grant Gilmore.
We're still talking about the potential for some landslides because of this extreme moisture and this excessive rainfall. Level 3 out of 4 risk for the excessive rainfall today in Southern California, specifically in the LA area, where we could pick up an additional 3 to 4 inches of rainfall. Some places could pick up over 7 inches.
John Beam, a beloved former football coach and star of the Netflix series Last Chance U, has died after being shot on a junior college campus in the San Francisco Bay Area. KCBS's Matt Bigler says a suspect has been arrested.
Coach Beam's sudden death is a huge loss to the Bay Area sports community and beyond. Frederick Chavies, one of Beam's many mentees, says they are in mourning
at the loss of such an absolutely incredible human being, and our hearts are aching.
The athletic director at Laney College was fatally shot on campus. Oakland Assistant Police Chief James Beer says they were able to identify the suspect, 27-year-old Cedric Irving, thanks to multiple surveillance cameras.
Honestly, without technology, our community would have been put further at risk.
A motive for the shooting remains unknown. Matt Bigler for CBS News, Oakland, California.
With the release of some emails by Democrats related to Jeffrey Epstein's sex ring and a vote coming up in the U.S. House next week on releasing Epstein reports, President Trump calls on the Justice Department to investigate Democrats who had a connection to the late sex offender. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
We've seen him do that publicly in the past, urging the DOJ to indict
people like Letitia James, people like James Comey, even after career prosecutors have advised that there's not enough there to bring a case. In those instances, the DOJ went along with what President Trump wanted, and clearly they are now doing that again.
After strikes on alleged drug boats in the Atlantic and Pacific, President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth have ordered up plans to strike on land in Venezuela, though it's unclear if U.S. forces would invade. As CBS's Eleanor Watson reports,
the Trump administration has presented arguments behind the scenes to Congress, but has not fully publicly presented an argument, and that has allies in Europe and in Latin America, as well as members of Congress concerned about the justification.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, the suspect in a deadly fight in Auburn is caught in Alabama. That's after Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
All right, this report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Everett to Marysville, you're at a 20-minute drive. Still pretty heavy between the Snohomish River up to 529. In Alderwood, southbound 405 at Filbert Road, our collision keeps improving by every report. Now they've moved it off to your right shoulder. But we have 4 to 5 cars all right next to that fog line. So if you're in that right lane, keep an eye out for them. Everett to Seattle, a 1-hour commute, 45 minutes from Linwood. Your backup starts approaching 164th in Linwood because of the situation in Alderwood on 405. And then that goes down to 44th. You'll clear out, and then it is packed again from Northgate to the West Seattle Bridge. In Berrien, southbound 509 at South 128, the collision still blocking. You're backed up now to the south end of the First Avenue South Bridge. Seattle to Federal Way, a 1-hour commute. It's bumper to bumper from Interurban Avenue down to 516. Tacoma to Olympia is going to take you an hour. We've got 3 backups to get through. South Tacoma, JBLM, and then heading into Olympia. And then Olympia to Tacoma has gone up to an hour 10. We've got a new collision, North 5, just prior to Marvin Road there in Lacey in your left lane. And this is at the front end of scattered backups all the way into Tacoma. The Home Comfort Alliance warehouse clearance sale ends soon. Save 25 to 75% and enjoy 18 months 0% financing. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granello. An Auburn man now faces murder charges after a deadly punch following a concert outside White River Amphitheater. Prosecutors say Devin McCurdy struck and killed Brandon Godsey back in August. Casey McNerthany with the King County Prosecutor's Office says McCurdy then fled cross-country.
He was located in Alabama, and police believe that he went there shortly after it was clear from media reports that the victim had died.
McCurdy is still in Alabama, awaiting extradition to Washington. His bail is set at $2 million. A construction team in Lakewood rescued one of their crew members this morning from a sewage pipe. Emily Tenter with West Pierce Fire and Rescue says the man was about 15 feet underground and deep into that pipe when he suffered a medical emergency.
They used a rope to drag him that 290 feet out of the pipe and then used their own crane to lift him up.
First responders say the man was in critical condition when he was rushed to the hospital. A tugboat that started sinking near the Kingston Marina last week has some community members concerned about potential environmental damage. Get more from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi.
The 64-foot tugboat known as the Mollusk lost power and started sinking. The Coast Guard was able to tow it to Apple Tree Cove, where it remains anchored, not far from the Sheepish Pig Farm, owned by Tanya Issa.
I can tell you just day by day, we can see that the water level is rising and it's listing.
She's concerned it's going to sink, polluting the water in nearby beach. But Jasmine Adams with the State Department of Ecology says the vessel is secured.
It does not look like it's in danger of tipping over or anything like that.
The Coast Guard is now working on a plan to get the boat removed. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Come next summer, Lumen Field gets a name change. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglavin explains it's all for the FIFA World Cup.
Well, Seattle is set to host 6 matches for the World Cup at Lumen Field, but it'll be called Seattle Stadium during the World Cup matches because of FIFA requirements regarding sponsors. That's according to the Puget Sound Business Journal. Now, signs for sponsors will need to be temporarily covered or removed. The World Cup kicks off June 11th.
Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain tapers to showers tonight, not quite as heavy. Spotty areas of light rain tomorrow with some sun breaks. Right now, 48 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Are y'all keeping the camera on me back there in the little video room?
He's talking to you, Andrew.
Good. We're having trouble in the video room. But he has a little attitude adjustment that we're going to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't care what your mama thinks and your daddy thinks.
Yeah, this is Roy. He got mad at you.
And I don't have a better friend than your mama. But, Mama, you get out of my way when I'm messing with that boy because I'm his preacher. I'm yours when I'm talking to you. But I'm his when I'm talking to him.
Oh, yeah.
And last I checked, he's a grown man.
Yeah.
And that video room ain't going to be a youth hangout. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Well, if you don't know what you're doing wrong, son, you don't care about what I want to do right.
Right.
Because if you loved me and you submitted to me, you'd know what my heart is and my message is, and you wouldn't go about establishing your own kingdom in the video room.
That's what Aaron heard. Wow. I didn't know he loved you.
Apparently he does. Doesn't sound like it, though.
He cares. He cares. You turn it into that. It's like you turn it into a boys' club back there in the video
my own little
room.
Kingdom.
Your own kingdom. Dive it in. Your kingdom. Dive it in. All right. Wonder how our protest is doing that we had heard from our listener. Where'd you get that phone number? How'd you find that person who's like, we're supposed to be self-contained?
She sent a voicemail to our text line.
How amazing how that works. All right. Don't forget, somebody's going to be playing the Know-It-All quiz. That's right, one lucky person who gets on the air to play the Know-It-All quiz. One interesting thing about yourself. Find yourself breaking into the world of radio. That's how Aaron got his job.
True.
1-888-973-5476. All right. Well, workers of the world unite. The first thing that our new mayor did after she gave her speech, talking about we all need to come together as a community and we're going to, here we go. And then they hightail it out of there and head over to a Starbucks strike protest. So she was over there for that. By the way, one little quick note. This is from James in the newsroom. He said, man, I went there to cover the press conference for her big opening speech. They had no podium for her.
Well, she just got there.
I know, but if you're going to do a press conference, have a podium. And he said they had nobody behind her.
No soapbox or anything.
He had a lot of learning to do. All right, so the baristas, they want some more money. Here's KIRO 7 explaining the Starbucks statement regarding the strike.
We have been very clear. When the union is ready to come back, we're ready to talk. That statement continues on to read that any agreement needs to reflect that Starbucks offers the best job in retail, including more than $30 an hour on average pay and benefits for hourly workers.
Yeah, a lot of bennies, right? They'll put money into your 401k. They get retirement for you. They'll send you to college if you want to go. If you'd like to have a body part removed, they'll do that for you. They got a whole bunch of stuff that they'll give you. So overall, if you give Starbucks makes a buck. By the time it gets all the way down to the bottom, they got about 10 cents left over, and their total cost of what they're paying everybody. I mean, Howard Schultz this is going back a number of years ago. Somebody was complaining, I guess it was at a shareholders meeting, and he said that just leave. You don't want to work here, don't work here. You don't have to work here. Just quit. Just go somewhere else.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's not like you have to work at a coffee shop. Find something else you want to do. Who spoke? Jake spoke to one of the striking baristas?
Jake Chapman from KIRO.
Oh, okay.
We spoke with one worker on strike as she argues if Starbucks cared about them, then they'd get a contract done right now.
We have been waiting.
I don't know what you're gonna say, but let me give you a little bit of advice here from old man. Ready? They don't care. They don't care. Your boss doesn't care about anything other than having somebody show up, not clog the toilet and scream at a customer. They don't care. They don't care about you. That's not their job. They're not being paid to care about you. They care that someone's at work, that somebody didn't throw a hot coffee in somebody's face, somebody didn't slip and fall, somebody didn't, have somebody shooting up drugs in the bathroom. They don't care. They're not there to care. Your boss and you are diametrically opposed from the very beginning of your relationship. You want more money to work less. They want you to work more for less money. There is no caring. This idea of, oh, you're a team member or you're a partner. No, you're not. Don't fall for it. Just show up, do your job, get the money, and if it sucks and you don't like it, leave. You're not forced to have to work there. If they mention caring, I'm gonna blow my top.
Then they'd get a contract done right now.
We have been waiting for the company to come back to the table and bargain with us to finish our contract. And we've been waiting since last year. And we're ready just to finish our contract strong and be back, to work when that's done.
So it's not clear exactly how long this strike will last. Last year when they were on strike, it was about 5 days or so.
I can't believe this. No offense, but it's a low-skill job. And it's a low-skill pay. The fact that somebody's making $30 or $35 because you get the tips in there, and then you get all the additional stuff that you get to make coffee? Oh, you don't understand. It's extremely difficult. Okay, well, it's not really. So somebody else could be taught to do it. And you then do it. It's not a job where $35 an hour plus the additional cost of all of that sort of stuff. And they believe, oh, well, Starbucks has the money, but they're not giving it to us. They're intentionally trying to block the strike. Yeah, they don't want you to unionize because now that's just even more money that's going into this thing. I just can't. We're talking about making coffee. It's a weird sort of thing where I'm going to work there. Like, what's your life plan? I'm going to work as a barista for the rest of my life? Or I want them to provide all of this stuff for me. I want them to care about me. They don't give a rat's ass about you. Just show up on time, get your work. If you don't like it, quit and go somewhere else. I mean, am I being cold-hearted? Am I a cold-hearted orb that stole the night, that ruled the colors from our site? Am I? I asked you, Joe, who's one step up from a barista.
I mean, honestly, with the numbers you just rattled off, I might go to Starbucks and take one of their jobs. Here's what they say, and I don't disagree with you. This is from the Starbucks Workers United website. They say every day across the U.S. we're dealing with issues like short staffing, unpredictable scheduling, low pay, rising healthcare costs, harassment, broken equipment, and unfair discipline.
Okay. I will give them this. In order to save money, they short the staff, right? How many people do we need on? Well, they look at it and they're like, okay, how quickly? Because they all want to talk about the delivery of the coffee from the time it's come in through the drive-thru. Because they treat the drive-thru better. Right. So drive-thru comes in, for the time the order comes in, what's the time that the person gets the thing? Is it like 1.5 minutes? But you're always trying to get that number down. The same thing they do at Safeway. What's your beep and scan rate? They test all that sort of stuff because they want to, how efficient. Well, they get a big rush and then it's quiet. So they don't want to have like 5 people on or 4 people. So can we do it with 3? Can we maximize our profit with 3? Well, what happens is you get a big crush, and then it's like, oh, my God, we're running around trying to get all this stuff and remember all these orders. It sucks, right? Because there's only 3. If they gave us 4, would that be able to cover more of it? Well, then that's more cost per unit. Then you got to pump out more. So they're just running those numbers all the time. Yeah, it sucks. Then quit. You didn't spend 10 years of your life going to medical school and you have this incredible skill, or you dedicated your entire life to this thing, and I've got just so much in. I've got this sunk cost and I've dedicated my life to this career, and now all of a sudden they're asking me to work longer. Quit. Go get another job. Or be even better, if you really want to free yourself, not from a union or a corporation, find the thing that you do really well, and then you have people pay you for your unique skill. Find out what it is. Don't all of a sudden just follow the crowd and be protected by the union where you don't have to challenge yourself. You will always be a slave to someone, either to the union or the boss. What is it that makes you unique, that allows you to really prosper in a world? I hate the thing about follow your passion, but you have to be able to realize, do I just want to be one more cog in the system? Then you'll be treated like a cog. And you'll always be part of that, and then you can always complain because somebody's taking advantage of you, or not getting paid what you think it's worth, or the guy's trying to screw you over. You're absolutely right. Well, if it wasn't here, it would be another place. And if it's not there, it's another place. It sucks. It does suck. That's the reality of it. And then Katie, our new mayor, goes over and cheering them all on.
That is why I am proud to join them on their picket line and proud to say loud and clear, I am not buying Starbucks, and you should not either. And I would like to close with a message to Starbucks. This is your home.
Do you speed up her voice?
Nope.
Oh, she's changed her voice. It's faster now.
Town and mine. Seattle's making some changes right now. And I urge you to do the right thing. Because in Seattle, when workers' rights are under attack, what do we do? When workers' rights are under attack, what do we do? When workers' rights are under attack, what do we do?
That does sound sped up.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's sped up.
Yeah, I didn't do it, but somebody did.
That's not fair.
No.
When it comes to a strike and everybody's out there on the picket line, like you're making airplanes and you're making a $30 billion, $50 billion, or $7 billion, whatever it is you're producing, and you have a unique skill to be able to produce that airplane, and there's some country that's promised a plane, you better get on there because we were talking about big, big, big problems. Here's the deal with coffee. I know this is going to come as a great surprise to anybody. I could go get my coffee somewhere else. Not my jet, not my 737 MAX. Can't go anywhere for the 777. I'll just go down the street somewhere else. So Starbucks, people march around out front. Oh, okay, too bad. I'll just go somewhere else. So when Katie's like, don't go there. Okay, I guess I'll go somewhere else. I'll find some coffee. I'll go to Cafe Vita. I'll go to McDonald's. I'll go to some other place and get coffee. It's not like that's the only place you can get coffee. You have no power. You have zero power. Nothing, because the consumer will go right around your line. And when people are like, well, it's killing us because you don't care about us. It's the same thing where if the price keeps going higher, people will find some other place to go. If Starbucks price keeps going up, the price of coffee is going to be going way up. In fact, it's gone up 3 times in this year. The price of coffee has increased, and it's going to continue to increase. It's going to be a pressure point where people are like, I'm going to want to pay $8 for a cup of coffee. And then all of a sudden, they'll make it home. They'll make some other way to get it. They'll just go somewhere else. There's no loyalty. People have a nice relationship with the person that comes into the store because I got a little name badge on, and I welcome in. How's your day going? Get community somewhere else, but you have no leverage.
Well, and
zero.
The vast majority of Starbucks, even in this area, are not unionized.
Right, but what are you going to get? You get better medical? Again, this is the marketplace. Your skill is replaceable. That's the sad part. Oh, why does that person make a amount of money? If you can throw a ball from 60 feet, 6 inches away, 104 miles an hour, you're going to get paid a lot of money. If you have the ability to do something that somebody else in the marketplace can't do, you're going to be paid a lot of money if people like what you do. Name any singer, name any dancer, name any performer, name any artist, name any movie star, whatever it is. People love that guy. I'll pay you $28 million for people to watch you in a movie, right? That's it. You got a marketable skill. People will pay you for it. What's the marketable skill?
They're getting paid pretty well.
Put that coffee down.
Put the coffee down. What's that?
They're getting paid pretty well for it.
Yeah. So a friend just writes in and says Starbucks has had good benefits, but it's basically a glorified job that could be replaced by somebody else. Why aren't McDonald's fry cooks striking? Because the folks in the coffee business are idealistic, he says, or she says. You don't see the people at McDonald's know they're just frying potatoes. This union thing is, affecting a whole bunch of other businesses as well. And then the last part I would say is that here's Katie Wilson. Come on now. Starbucks generates a lot of revenue, which is a lot of taxes, which is the corporate headquarters is here. You can't start out your first day in office going over there, and pooping on them. No. Because that you're going to have to learn. This is going to be job one right now. You cannot have your socialist utopia without the golden goose. And the golden goose poops out coffee. And you got to make sure you take care of that golden goose. That's one of your little golden geese. The little egg is your cash. Don't make them mad. Learn to work with them. The fact that somebody that's working there wants, another $2 an hour or something like that, I get it. It sucks if you're understaffed, machines are breaking, or you don't like to wear the uniform, but it still gets back to, if you don't like it, too bad. I remember, I'll tell you a quick story. I was at WGAL-TV. I was getting paid crap, $18,000. The person that had the job before me was making $32,000. And I found out from somebody. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, I'm really getting screwed over on this. And I went in to talk to the news director. And everybody's like, oh, go in and talk to Ed. So I went in, and they're all in the other room laughing. I didn't know what the deal was. And I went in, and I said to him, hey, Ed, can I see you for a second? Yeah, come on in. Come on in. Shut the door. He's a little Marine sitting there in the chair. I don't want to ruin this book, but okay, I'll do it anyway. And then he goes like this. He goes, what's the problem? I said, well, I just, kind of not making it. I'm getting paid $18,500. The person before me, I found out was making $32,000. So it's like, where's the money? And like, just my rent's high, and it's kind of hard for $18,000. It just, I'm working 6 days a week. I'm doing weather in the week. Yeah. Sounds tough. That's tough. That is tough. Whew. Man, I feel for you. I really feel for you. Do me a favor? I was like, yeah. Open the door. So I open the door. There you go. Open the door for him. And he goes, okay, great. You see this book right here? This is the book of every single television station and every single radio in the country. Okay? Now, go get it and go find a job in that book that you think is going to pay you more. And he throws the book out the door. And everybody in the newsroom already knew it was coming. Because when he held the book up, it was covered in tape. Because apparently he must throw that thing out the door all the time. And the most humiliating thing of it all was you had to go out and he's like, bring the book back when you're done. Oh. What was I going to do?
Yeah.
So when they're looking through the book, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll apply for some other place.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I got another job. They paid me $50,000.
Hey, not bad.
The other person was making $100,000. Every time I went there, I'm like, I should have looked to see how much they were making. Anyway, yeah,
look it up in the book.
They're in the book. Look it up in the book. Thank you, Larry King. All right.
Iced matcha lemonades.
Okay, Aaron, you're not here anymore.
Frappuccinos.
People are gonna get mad at me about that.
About what?
My Starbucks, rant.
Of all the things to get mad at you about, that seems uncontroversial.
Nice. Okay, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nate,
All right, Alderwood, South 405 at Filbert. That right lane is once again blocked at the scene of our collision. The collision's on the shoulder, but the tow truck now blocks the lane. Traffic is crowded between Alderwood and Bothell. Linwood to Bellevue pushing 25 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 45 minutes. A minor backup in Linwood. Got a brief backup through Shoreline between 175th and 155th. And then it's packed from Northgate to the West Seattle Bridge. North 5 jams up at the north end of Boeing Field to Mercer. Wherever we have a collision, it's partially blocking the left lane at the on-ramp merging lane. In Burien, southbound 509 at South 128th, we still have a collision, and it's has you backed up to the south end of the First Avenue South Bridge. North 5 through South Center, just prior to 405, a new crash in your center lane. Tacoma to Olympia, still a 1 hour drive. Olympia to Tacoma, hour 5 minutes. And we're seeing big backups heading in through Yelm. 2 mile backup southbound 507. Eastbound 510 has a 3 mile backup between Yelm and McKenna. And this is most likely drivers using this as an alternate route from our I-5 backups. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, if new closets are something you've been thinking about because you want to get organized, here's the thing that caused me to say okay to Nick when she said, we need new closets. And then I was like, we don't really need new closets. We're going to get the garage organized. It's like, well, I'll tell you this. How about this? Let's improve the value of the home. I was like, bing, bing. So we go to sell the place. We've increased the value of the home because we now have beautiful cabinets, beautiful storage. So I was like, okay, do it. But just don't get the first one that shows up on Google. And find one that's been around for a while, family-owned, and get them to be local. And that's exactly what we found with Closets by Design. Here's what I loved about them. When the nice lady came out and sat with Nick, they completely customized. It wasn't a box of parts they're going to jerry-rig into the wall. No, they even looked in the laundry room. They built a cabinet that matched the woodwork. I was like, look at this. Closets by Design. Just the best you're going to find anywhere. Family run with 22 years in the business. They know what they're doing. They're going to give you 40% off, plus another 15% off, and 18 months financing, and free installation. There's no other closet company you need to call other than Closets by Design. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN, 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
The 2025 American League MVP, Cal... Hold up, what? He didn't win? Aaron Judge? You've got to be kidding me.
This is ridiculous.
He's our MVP.
He was the heartbeat of the team all season long.
Congratulations on a historic season, Cal.
The modern-day Bambino.
From a grateful region and KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Celebrate 50 years of timeless hits. KIRO News Radio and Muckleshoot Casino Resort are giving you the chance to win 2 tickets to see Air Supply live at the Muckleshoot Casino Event Center Wednesday, December 10th. Enter now at mynorthwest.com/win. That's mynorthwest.com/win.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. Humpback whales and Biggs orcas were the story out on the water the past week. Among the humpbacks being seen is an individual known as Griffin, who was spotted a few days ago. Griffin rarely comes into our waters, so it was a special treat to see him. Speaking of special treats, we're getting close to the holidays, and the team at Puget Sound Express want to remind you that whale watching during the holidays is a special holiday tradition that brings families together and is a unique Pacific Northwest experience. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Warm boats, homemade blueberry buckle. Don't miss out on your chance to see orcas and humpbacks in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
It's Sky Nursery's first annual Greenhouse Winter Market, followed by the inaugural Shore Lights Winter Light Display, November 15th and 16th. All vendor fees support HopeLink, collecting food donations for neighbors in need. Event details at skynursery.com.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granello. Local law enforcement is on the hunt for a convicted Level 3 sex offender from King County. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
According to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound, 23-year-old Eli Volsey cut off and disabled his ankle monitor October 25th near the Burien Transit Center. Crime Stopper says getting Volsey back into custody is a top priority.
You got to consider this guy's going to be dangerous because he's given a break. He's out on an ankle monitor, cuts it off, and then disappears.
Volsey is 5'7", 128 pounds with tattoos on his right arm. Crime Stoppers is offering a $1,000 reward. You can see his photo on mynorthwest.com. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Relief at the airport. The FAA says it's reducing the number of flights airlines will need to cut from 6% down to 3%. CBS's Chris Van Cleve has more.
That still means hundreds of flights on Saturday will be canceled as the nation's airspace works to get back to normal, as the system works to get back to normal and show that it is resilient and stable as far as staffing levels go.
Getting a better look now into Seattle Mayor-elect Katie Wilson's agenda for the city. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more from her first post-election national interview.
Along with making housing and food more affordable, Wilson addressed criticism from conservative media about being a 43-year-old receiving a monthly check from mom and dad to pay for her own child care. She called it a political win because others can relate.
Our child care is off the charts expensive. And honestly, I think that a lot of people of my generation and younger and older found it very relatable.
Wilson says she'll reveal members of her new cabinet soon. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Costco is being sued over its Kirkland signature brand tequila. A class action lawsuit claims the retailer falsely advertises the booze as 100% agave. Plaintiffs say lab tests found other sugars that disqualifies the alcohol as tequila. The suit says shoppers paid premium prices under false pretenses. Costco has not commented. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Up in Alderwood, South 405 at Filbert Road. Look out, that right lane remains blocked with tows on scene, trying to get the cars out of the way on the right shoulder there. Linwood to Seattle, 45 minutes. Those earlier backups in Linwood and Shoreline have pretty much cleared out, so we're left with this bumper-to-bumper grind from Northgate to the West Seattle Bridge. North 5 remains packed at the north end of Boeing Field up to Mercer, where that left lane is partially blocked coming out of the Mercer on-ramp. Southbound 509 in Burien at 128th. A collision still blocking, and you're backed up to Cloverdale in South Park. North 5 and South Center just before 405. Your center lane is blocked from a crash. You're backed up to South 200th. Tacoma to Olympia still an hour. Olympia to Tacoma about an hour now as well. And we've got backups heading through Yelm from either direction, a couple miles in both directions as drivers try to avoid the I-5 backups. Electrical issues? Call Home Comfort Alliance for EV charges, standby generators, panel upgrades, and more. Save up to $1,000 at homecomfortalliance.com today. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Rain tapering off to showers overnight. Tomorrow off and on rain with some sun breaks. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Here we go with the John Curley Show on a Friday. Thank you, everybody. Teeny, if you'd be so kind to spin the wheel the Wilcox Building Farm Eggs recipe wheel. All the names of all the names are all in the same spot. What the heck is happening here? Oh my God. Well, obeying all the rules of the Wilcox Building Farm Eggs, we're all going to have to do our recipe at the exact same time.
Oh,
so are you ready to go?
Sure.
All right, let's just get started.
I like the hard-boiled eggs.
Scrambled, no matter what you put in it, has to have green onions and green peppers. Green peppers.
Don't drink
a lot of green peppers.
You put eggs in it and it's
There we go. There's the recipe. They'll all be in a book for you. Look for that at the Wilcox Building Farm Eggs recipe. Just waiting, just for you. If that doesn't drive people away, I don't know what will. Perhaps this will, because Andrew, I was thinking. This is the monologue that I was going to do earlier, but Ursula came in and we got a chance to talk to Ursula. And because people were talking about, okay, so Katie Wilson is a socialist. She's now, I'm a proud socialist, and let's just, all in. So I thought I would pen a little something here on my phone. If the city of Seattle were a person and being rushed into the ER, there is a 1 in 10 chance the city will be misdiagnosed. That is the number 1 in 10 in ERs. This could lead to extended illness, pain, and suffering and death, although big cities never actually die. They just, kind of keep coming back in different forms. So let's just stick to the idea that the city of Seattle, as a patient, gets misdiagnosed and will consider it an illness. And the treatment. Well, the voters of Seattle, again, they're like our doctors, they are full of two things. One, compassion and intellect, and then everybody else's money. So you get these qualities. That's a smart person with a lot of compassion and money, and a misdiagnosis. What happens is cities continue to suffer. Think George Washington. So George Washington goes out for a ride in the rain. He doesn't have time to change his clothes. When he goes to get dinner, he gets a sore throat. He comes down with a terrible sore throat and a bad cold. And within 24 hours, his doctors are around him and they start leeching him. They're bleeding him because they're trying to reduce the fever because they thought that would work well. And they actually end up sucking about 40% of his blood out of him. They misdiagnosed him. and were possibly part of the end of his life. So this brings us to a 1968 book by Edward Banfield. It was controversial and still is at some point, but it's a classic. It's called The Unheavenly City. And Banfield notes that the richer a city gets, the safer it gets, the more powerful that city gets. And with the affluent, the overseers, the beneficiaries of this, the smart people, we've got a lot of smart people, well-educated in Seattle. What happens is that they see the problem and they think that the sort of social, political problems can be solved with more government. They're going to step in and they're going to throw more and more money at it. They believe that poverty is behavioral. Because poverty is behavioral. It is not really an external condition. This is where Ursula and I were disagreeing. So long-term cultural changes in all real solutions, and government cannot engineer it out. So if you're applying the author's 57-year-old theory to Seattle, let's look at homelessness, as a matter of fact. Here's King County and Seattle have had increase in homelessness in the last 15 to 20 years, and they're spending almost $1 billion a year. It continues to go up and up and up, right? So just like George Washington, what they've done is they've misdiagnosed. They think, well, I can try to fix this problem. And here's where Banfield's theory comes in. What he says is that there are three different types of people for whatever reason. There are some people that are future oriented, right? You do the hard work, you do the work, and then good stuff's going to come for you. Then there's other people that are sort of see maybe a couple of weeks out. And then the last group are those that are just fulfilling their available needs right there with no regard to society. So those are three groups. Well, the top group, the one that is future oriented, those are often a lot of Seattle voters. They're smart people. They went to college. They did the things, the right thing, and they sort of see the guy that's homeless as well. Well, if we do all the stuff, they're coming at the problem from a future-oriented problem when that person does not respond to those types of things. So that's the problem, and you can't fix it by engineering more government getting involved. And my prediction is that the Seattle homeless levels will go up 11% or more next year, because what you're going to see is even more money being given to more and more of these projects, but they don't solve the problems. It's never solved the problems because it gets down to it's cultural. What's happening in the family? What's happening in that house? What's happening for that kid in one generation after another? There was a point during the debate where William F. Buckley was running as the third-party candidate in New York City. I've told Joe this story. And somebody in the audience asked the question of the three candidates, what's going to happen with second-generation welfare? Is it possible that children could be caught up in that in a second generation? So this is 1967. And William F. Buckley, the conservative libertarian, said, the answer is, it's one word, and I'm going to spell it for you because you probably haven't heard it in a while. The way to break the generational rotation of welfare, one generation after another, and the answer is orphanages, as William F. Buckley would do. And everybody's aghast. And he goes, now I'll write the headline for the New York Times. Because he knew, he didn't care. He didn't expect to win. But his point was, you have to remove the child from the environment that is creating that problem for that kid who will carry it on. If the kid wakes up and sees his parents don't go to work, why would he go to work? If he sees that the parents didn't go to school, why should he go to school? It is environmental. If you can have an environment where some kid sees their parents working really hard and they value education, that kid will probably do okay. That's just it. But how's the government going to get in there and fix it? I've got an idea on one of them anyway. If a kid doesn't want to go to high school, don't force him to go to high school. Why? Because he's ruining it for every other kid. If he's 16 years old and he's truant all the time and you grab him and you put him in the classroom, he's sitting in there. He doesn't want to be in there. No one else wants him there. And he sucks up all the teacher's time. And he's obviously saying, I don't want to be here. I want to be as disruptive as possible. I don't care about anybody else's education. Then let him go. Don't educate him. If he wants to get educated somewhere else, fine, but let him go. Don't force that kid to be in that room, ruining it for everybody else. It'd be like smoking. The person wants to smoke because they want to smoke. Well, everybody else has to sit there and breathe the person's bad smoke. Just let him just go. Don't try to force him to be in school. If he doesn't want to be in school, don't ruin it for everybody else. That seems shocking and that's wrong and like, oh no, we can't give up on him. He's already told you or she's already told you, I have no interest. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't care. And if you force them in that school to sit in that classroom, they will screw it up for everybody else. The teacher will be constantly asking them to sit down or please be quiet. And the kid yells and screams and curses and throws something at the teacher. I know, again, although Banfield suggested this back in the 60s and people thought it was horrible. He's like, look, the kid doesn't want to be there. Don't force him to be there. Part of it. But it's going to be really interesting to see what happens down in the city of Seattle. Because, again, it's a misdiagnosis of the problem. You believe government can solve this problem by taking a bunch of money and giving it and redistributing it and putting a bunch of caring people involved to try to fix that person's life, when really the government can't fix that stuff. Doesn't matter how much money we spend. If you look where we are, the poverty level is always just about the same. 12.1, 12.4, 12.7, 12.2. It always stays about the same. And we have spent trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, and it still stays the same. In fact, the richer the city, the more poverty, because you're going to have the rich, the super rich, and the poor. They're all in there together. And the rich people are like, hey, it worked out for me. It'll work out for you. Let's give them more money. Where's it worked? What city?
Anyway, 0-2.
Hold on, Ben Scully. Some cities do well. Some states do well when you actually have a good balance. Republican, Democrat, Democrat, Republican, kind of a mix of the two where everybody's getting a chance to have both sides heard. It's when you get just power hard on the right or power hard on the left, and nobody has to listen to anybody else. No one's coming in with any other ideas. And it's just, full blast on an ideology. But this particular one that we see in Seattle, which is compassion, you hear it all the time. And now they're gonna make you care by taking your money. By the way, am I still responsible for getting Katie Wilson elected?
You are officially known as the godfather of Seattle socialism.
Wow. It's a big responsibility. I really was. I'd have to start killing 100 million people. Here's Nate checking traffic, Nathan.
Alderwood, South 405 at Filbert. That right lane remains blocked. The scene of a collision. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes now as we slowly improve. We're still pretty heavy, though, from Northgate down to I-90. North 5 is packed at the north end of Boeing Field to Mercer. That earlier collision that was partly blocking the left lane has been tucked away on the left shoulder now, no longer blocking. Southbound 509 in Burien at 128, the collision still blocking. You're backed up to Cloverdale and South Park. That's a bumper-to-bumper backup. South Center, we just cleared that crash. North 5 at 405. Federal Way to Seattle will take you 40 minutes right now. Seattle to Federal Way, 45 minutes. It's still really packed from 405 down to 516. And Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, we're down to 45 minutes with scattered backups pretty much down the entire stretch. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Longevity Medical Clinic for 25 years. They've been following the latest science and applying it and allowing thousands of people that have been patients of Longevity Medical Clinic to enjoy a longer, healthier life. Because let's face it, nobody ages gracefully. You just start to accept certain stuff. Oh, aches and pains, a little bit of brain fog, you kind of just losing a step, and you're just not as strong as you used to be. You're like, well, that's just what happens when you get old. Why? Why does it have to happen? If you can be working with Longevity Medical Clinic, and they've been doing this for 25 years, and they're like, no, you don't have to feel this way. The latest science says that you can actually extend your life, and all the stuff that normally takes you out of the game, like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, is just pushed off longer to give you more life. Most people are like, 75 years old, I've just sort of sit around, I don't have any energy anymore. Why does it have to be that way? It doesn't. You might notice a whole bunch of people popping up on your social media telling you, whoa, do this and do that and do this. All Johnny-come-latelys. Longevity Medical Clinic has been there for 25 years. They're here for you right now. Take a free health analysis and learn more at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back?
back. If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
At Bank of America, we're proud that more than 20,000 veterans and people with military backgrounds have joined our ranks since 2015. Now we're committed to adding 10,000 more over the next 5 years. By helping veterans achieve their career goals, we're moving from appreciation to action, and together, helping expand economic opportunity across America. Visit bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Smarter clean in half the time. Brought to you by Swiffer Power Mop. Tired of the mop and bucket struggle? The Swiffer Power Mop gives you a mop and bucket clean without all the extra work. It's an all-in-one cleaning tool that mops smarter, not harder. With built-in solution that breaks down dirt and grime. And a pad with over 300 scrubbing strips to absorb and lock sticky messes. It even gets into places a regular mop can't. And leaves your home smelling fresh for hours. Try the Swiffer Power Mop today. Love it or your money back.
Picture this. You've owned rentals for years, but tenants, repairs, and taxes keep you stuck. John Curley here to tell you about Madrona Financial and CPA's free landlord retirement plan workshop. November 18th in Kirkland, November 19th in Tacoma, and November 20th back in Kirkland, all at 3 p.m. Learn strategies to sell without massive capital gains, avoid depreciation recapture, and transition to income without tenants. Seats are limited. Call 833-673-7373 now.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
Life can be stressful, but buying your next car doesn't have to be. Subaru of Puyallup has a nice selection of remaining 2025 models with exceptional savings, including popular Outbacks and Crosstreks. Start shopping now at SubaruofPuyallup.com. The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Short Pendergast Law, Hudson, short version, just as short as you can, just really. There you go.
Nice.
We'll get to life today first. Take care of all the rest.
Craig in Puyallup says, this is for John Curley. What are you harpooning about now? I heard you were looking for whale puns, so where did they put the dynamite? Wrecked them. Damn near killed them.
There you go. That's
Call
good.
me Ishmael. I just saw Moby Dick fly by. Ouch, that's going to leave a mark.
Well, that's Maureen, the 253 says, is John going to do his Aunt Seal story for Thanksgiving this year? Yes, I will.
Oh, good. Elliot in Seattle applying to play the know-it-all quiz. He said, I had a near-death experience. I guess it was a near hit and miss and a complete miss. More like a brush with death. Had I gotten any closer, it definitely would have possibly been death or something close to death.
That's from last week. Good job. Starbucks protest. Fernando in Seattle says, I can't take any more serious that up speaks. Oh, is that the guy? Was
interview, yeah.
Interview, okay.
Sassy said, John, those who cry they don't care about us think their value is tied to whether or not people care about them, and it's so sad.
Oh, thank you, Sassy. Josh in Auburn says, I, for one, enjoy Starbucks rant. I haven't gone to Starbucks in forever. I don't care about them and their protests. Instead, I'm going to continue supporting local over here in Auburn. Hashtag Java Junction.
Ooh, I've been there. Ursula stops by. Brad the painter says the root causes argument doesn't work. When your house is on fire, you don't care why. You just need to put the flames out. It's too late for prevention. You can work on that afterwards.
Oh, root causes? Mm-hmm. Okay. Barry in Seattle says, that was so good. Make it a thing. Love hearing intelligent debate.
Jamestown in Eastlake says, John Curley, the king of gathering everyone down on the yellow carpet for discussions and tales. Your holiday story regarding the white meat versus dark meat still rings through my mind to this day, namely because of the way you told it.
Hee-haw Aaron says, I believe this is the first time I've heard John and Ursula having a conversation.
Ooh, it's true.
It's true.
Brian in Marysville says, Ursula, John couldn't have had an impact on the election results because everyone who listened to the show would have had to vote for her, and I'm pretty sure not that many people listen to the show. Ha ha.
Love your point of view, John. Thank you, 206. Love you for loving me.
Matt in Bothell says, my wife says you cannot legislate common sense, but providing means for opportunity, not a guarantee, should be something that we provide to those who find themselves in those situations.
Amen. Doug in Mount Vernon. John's support of Katie Wilson is contingent on her helping to recover his motorcycle. That thing's gone. I've given up.
Have you?
I don't know. It's not coming back.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Put that in the book.
All right.
Okay.
This is a special Friday twofer letter of the day.
Oh, wow.
360 says, tell John he better not go to Starbucks after this. That froth on his latte may not be what he thinks it is. And then Paul and Sammamish in the style of Knights in White Satin, Late Lament. Cold-hearted jock with teeth so white removes the lattes from our sight. Tries to heal Seattle's blight. Will his face soon be tight? Or is it all an illusion?
Nice.
That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Didn't write no more.
All she sings. Nice job, Nate, on the singing. Yeah.
What about the cheek plan?
Perfect on the cheek plan.
Thank you.
There we go. Here comes checking traffic for us, Nathan.
All clear in Alderwood, southbound 405 at Filbert Road. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. It's still packed from Northgate to I-90. North 5 heavy from the Michigan Curve now up to Mercer. Berrien, southbound 509 at 128. This collision is still there, and you're still backed up bumper to bumper to Cloverdale and South Park. Seattle to Federal Way, plan on 45 minutes. Scattered backups now from 405 to 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 45-minute commute. Olympia to Tacoma and vice versa, we're still struggling. Olympia to Tacoma, hour 5 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, 55. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, what are you doing this weekend? You're going to try to get organized, especially the holidays coming around. You're going to open that closet up where you keep all that stuff, and you're like, oh, my God, what a mess. What a horrible mess. What am I going to possibly do? Well, don't panic. Get everything out, and then you want to make sure you get organized. And if you've been thinking about closets for a while and getting better organized, maybe you just want to be able to have everything look great. It's Closets by Design. That's Closets by Design. They're a local company, been around for 22 years, family run. Here's what I like about them. They don't come in with just a whole box of parts and jerry-rig it into the wall. They customize it, really customize it. I can tell you from personal experience, when they came out to the clum, out to the barn, and they sat with Nick, and she told them exactly what they wanted. They go, that's a good idea. How about we also do this? And Nick's like, yes, that's a brilliant idea. So a whole wall of cabinets in the garage now, and then brand new master bedroom. They even have a fancy drawer that I'm supposed to keep watches in. I wish I had more watches. Doesn't matter. If you would like to have a custom closet without the custom price, they're going to give you 40% off plus 15% off and 18 months financing. It's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Seattle's morning news.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harder.
And I'm Amanda Factor.
With Thanksgiving around the corner, it's time to think about charitable giving for the year. CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger will have some tips.
Biggest game of the year for the Seahawks as they take on the Rams in L.A. We'll have the highlights.
All the day's news, traffic, and weather.
And Casey McNerthney from the King County Prosecutor's Office joins us for Crime and Punishment.
That's Monday, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM. KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game, Sunday, November 30th. Head to the KIRO News Radio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO News Radio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, November 11th through November 17th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
What a good move I made. Let me tell you a quick story. I've done a whole bunch of races and a bunch of other stuff like that, and my left hip started bothering me about 5 years ago. And I go to the doctor, and he's like, you need a hip replacement. I was like, I'm 60. Yeah, we're going to ask you to wait a little while because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to go into the grave at the same time. I said, what do you do about all this pain? Well, you could, aspirin, and you could continue to do this and that and, sleep with a pillow between your legs. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. Then I was talking to Bob Stelton over there at the sports department. So he went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I think he had his hip done as well. So I go in there. I said to Dr. Wagner, can you fix my hip? Takes a look at the MRI. Yes. So I got the stem cell procedure. I'm telling you something. This is the best. If you've been thinking about, surgery for your knee, or your wrist, your shoulder, or hip. No. Check out Dr. Mark Wagner and go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Adventure smarter with the 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid, available now at Carter Subaru, Seattle's only Subaru dealership. Get all-wheel drive with financing from just 3.9%. And during the Share the Love event, Subaru donates $250 for every new Subaru to one of 6 charities, including hometown favorite Treehouse. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 11/30/25.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. Humpback whales and Biggs orcas were the story out on the water the past week. Among the humpbacks being seen is an individual known as Griffin, who was spotted a few days ago. Griffin rarely comes into our waters, so it was a special treat to see him. Speaking of special treats, we're getting close to the holidays, and the team at Puget Sound Express want to remind you that whale watching during the holidays is a special holiday tradition that brings families together and is a unique Pacific Northwest experience. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Warm boats, homemade blueberry buckle. Don't miss out on your chance to see orcas and humpbacks in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
When the weather outside is frightful, a hot tub or sauna is delightful. During Olympic Hot Tub's Heat Up the Season sale, gift yourself year-round wellness with a saltwater hot spring spa or Tilo sauna. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you,